Hello, everybody. Everybody can hear me? Somebody give me a heads up. All right. Well, let's kick this thing off.
The Amazon Gorillaz webinar, navigating you through the seller's jungle. The Amazon jungle sells $60 billion in products, has 24 giant warehouses and 250 million customers. Flying high over the jungle canopy on a borrowed Amazon drone, dropping bananas like bombs in the Amazon jungle. Welcome to the jungle, Gorillaz. Here's your host, Rob Fortney.
Hey, everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? Little Guns N' Roses, welcome to the jungle tonight. I hope everybody's had a good weekend so far. I sure have. The Diesel Dog's not here, but he'll be back maybe in the middle of the show tonight. He's out on his dance lessons tonight, so we'll find out what's going over there with old Diesel Dog. So we've got some cool stuff going on tonight. I'm glad to have you hanging out with us. I've had a really good weekend. I'll tell you about one of the cool things I did this weekend that can't get my ex-wife off the screen. I don't know what she's doing on there, but so I've had a great weekend. I've worked on some cool business stuff this weekend, and I'll talk about that. It's called the Mindy Project. So we'll have a conversation about a new project that I've started with my girlfriend, Mindy, and what we did about that this weekend, and I'll share that with you. I've got some upcoming notes that I want to talk about, some future shows. I've got one that I've been really working on. Anybody got any questions real quick before we get started? We'll kind of let people keep filing in here a little bit. We've got about 40 people here already. So anybody have any questions that you had any problems with this weekend? We'll start there, and then I'll get into some more stuff. Hey, Paul, how are you, buddy? Paul's my guy up in, he's in France in an island called Jersey. Him and I spoke this week earlier and had a great conversation. If any of you guys don't know, I'm Rob Fortney, and this is the Jungle Tubes TV. I lost my train of thought there. It's the Amazon Gorillaz webinar, and we're going to be navigating you through the seller's jungle tonight. I'm glad you joined me. Anybody else got any other things they got going on? Hey, if you're looking to be able to look at some of the other webinars that I've done, this is number 3, and you can see them all on my. You can see them all on the Amazon Gorillaz YouTube channel. So if you search on YouTube, the Amazon Gorillaz YouTube channel, you'll be able to check out any of the other ones. And I'll actually put a link. Let me grab this link for you right now. I have a link for you that you can go to these, and you can actually just download them and have them for yourself. So here is the link for how to find a product in an hour. That was 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to enter that in for you there. And then last week, and these are links that you guys can just copy and paste in a document or something. What's up, Eric? All right, there we go. There we go. So those are both links to the previous 2 webinars. So if you want to copy and paste those, you can get to see what other webinars we've done. And, pretty interesting. Last week we did a webinar, how to start up your business, the first 5 steps to start up your business. So you're not out there wavering around trying to figure out what you're going to do. So here, that's your first 5 steps you need to take. And we covered things like insurance and what else did we cover? Banking, the setup, whether you should have an LLC or a partnership or what it might be. So we talked about that, and that's one of those links that we have over here. We also, the week before that I did, which I think has been, we've had over 1,000 replays on my webinar called How to Find a Product in a Day. So if you're really still searching for products, and all of us are always going to be searching for products. I mean, that's the nature of this business, is that you're going to always be looking for the next product. So that webinar you want to keep in your pocket out there, because anytime you get busy, you can go back and look at this. This webinar and the document that I'm going to give you tonight is also a great way in which you can help yourself find products. And so next week, I'm going to cover another thing about finding products, but I've got a special webinar that I want to tell you about that's going to come up on May the 5th that I'm really, really, really excited about. Taxes, yes, we talked about that, Tony. We did talk about taxes. I kind of keep my eye on over here on the chat line a little bit. So tonight, guys, we're going to talk about the products to avoid when you're first selling on Amazon. Because there's a lot of things out there that you can sell. There are some things that you absolutely aren't allowed to sell. And then there are some things in which you have to dive into and you have to get approved. And we'll go through all those. I also want to tell you, I have been having a big hard time, but we're going to be launching our Gorillaz website, I hope this week. I'm going to do everything I can. As some of you guys saw that when we downloaded, when you signed on for the webinar, so all of you have been to a website that's just the basic structure. It's only got 2 pages on it right now that are active, and one of them has the download to this to the document tonight, and I'll get you that link to be able to do that, where you can register and get that. And then obviously the front page is where you're able to register for the webinar. On Friday, it will definitely be my first Gorillaz podcast. I'll put that on either the Facebook page, and I'm going to email that out. So that'll go out to everybody that you can also listen to the podcast. And I'm going to need your guys' help a bunch when I do that, because once we launch that, we need to start making sure we make comments and then we give us some good buzz on iTunes, because once we do that, we'll start getting a bigger audience and more people can read it. But you know, we want to get some plays on there. We want to get people recommending it, so that some reviews and things like that. So iTunes will move us up, so that hopefully we can get some more views on that and help make that and be able to get a lot more people helped. So what else? Let me see if there's anybody else. Is Amazon to Amazon flipping allowed, Gregory? I don't believe, well, I don't know how you could get it. You have to deliver it out and deliver it back in. I don't think they're going to let you move it around the warehouse. I don't think you can do that, actually. So I'm going to tell you about this project. My girlfriend and I, Mindy, worked on this weekend. She's never been in her own business. She's actually a assistant principal at a high school. Oh, actually, it's a middle school, I guess. Maybe even a prep school. I'm going to get in trouble for saying that. It's young kids, so they're under 6th grade, I think. So Mindy and I, we talked about it, and I talked about some of the struggles I see people having all the time. And one of those struggles is how do I get enough money to actually start this? Well, I don't have any money. What am I going to do? Well, I think you got to have a little bit of money, but how about if you could start a business for $100? And what I mean by that is how can you start from ground zero and work your way up? Now, we're not going to go into that a lot at all tonight, but so the deal that I've made with Mindy is that we're going to call it the Mindy Project. And the Mindy Project is going to be a case study about how to start an Amazon business for $100. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through with her every single step, because she's never sold before. So we're actually going to start out right from an Amazon seller's account. And what we're going to do is we're going to film this, and we're going to show screen shots of it every step along the way. So you're going to actually be able to see her start out with $100, and then she's going to move into selling that and flipping that. And then our goal is to be able to make $1,000. So if you're not ready to start private labeling, that doesn't mean you can't get started in this business. That means you have to start out with RA. So here was our first thing that we did this weekend. It's probably a little out of step, and but we just happened to be out, and I said, you know what, let's do this. So what I did was I had her download the Amazon Sellers app. It actually was mine, because you can't actually have one until you actually have an account set up. But so what we did is we went out and we were shopping. I said, let's go to Target. Let's go to the clearance section in Target. I'm not an RA guy, and I've only RA'd several times. So some of this is kind of new to me as far as retail arbitrage. I didn't start there. I started on the other end. And maybe I'm glad I didn't. I know a lot of you guys do that. It just seems like such a hard job. But I've been talking to one of my clients this week, and his name's Tony, and Tony does retail arbitrage. And he would tell me about things he was doing, and it kind of got me excited just for the thrill of the hunt. So I thought, well, Mindy, why don't we start you here, and I'll give you dollars out with one. We went into Target to look for products, and we went around, and then finally we got to the shelf, and there was these 3, like, I think they're like carpet cleaners for like areas. They were Bissell carpet cleaners. And so she scanned them, and the next thing you know, they're for $39, and they're selling for $80 on Amazon. And she's just shocked. She goes, really? And I go, yeah. So if you bought all 3 of these and you were able to sell them, you could make yourself, you know, your $100 back, and then you'd have $200 for your business. Well, we looked at it, and it's in a restricted category, and we'll talk about that. And you couldn't sell that product as a new product. And it's probably because Bissell's a name brand and they don't want products showing up, and they probably made a deal to not have that happen. I don't know exactly why it is that way, but you couldn't sell it as a new product. So we kind of passed that by. By the way, I thought of something neat out there for you RA people. If Walmart still has layaway and Kmart still has layaway, and I don't know, maybe they only do that at Christmas time, but why couldn't you go lay away some products, put them online, and then fulfill them by merchant when you sold them and go pick them up at Kmart? Just a thought process that you don't even have any money. So if you can go lay away a product for $50, maybe you could even start your business for $50. So you know, but one of those things I thought about when I was out this weekend. So here we are, we're walking around Target. We look at the Bissell carpet cleaners, and they don't work out as much. And so then what we do is we find on one of the end caps, we find some sheets, and they're Dr. Seuss sheets. So anyway, we look those up, and it's like $8, $9, $10 after you take out fees. And I'm like, okay, you know, here's something, you know, make $10 on. And then, so we kept walking, and we come around the corner, and on the end cap are Dr. Seuss bedspread covers. So there's a twin size, and then there's a king size, and then there's sheets for both of them, but they're separate products. Well, by the time we got it done, and with the difference in the products, she'll be able to double her money. So she invested in 2 pairs of sheets, 1 twin, 1 full sheet, 1 full, you know, bedspread, and then an other one. So, and I did a little video on that. When we did it, we took pictures. So that'll be our first way in which she shows, hey, this is where I bought the products. This is what I paid for them. And then she's going to sign up for an account. We're going to watch that whole walkthrough. So that'll be interesting over the next couple of weeks. And we'll probably post those videos up on the Jungle Tube TV at Amazon Gorillaz on YouTube. So you'll be able to see the Mindy Project, and you'll see she's adorable and cute, and she was so down for it, and we had such a great time. It was kind of like a date. Well, it was a date. We went out and had dinner and did that stuff and went shopping. So I think that's going to be very interesting and helpful for a lot of people, because once I get her up and going, and I'm able to show everybody that we took someone from ground zero, $100, and we started them an account. So I'm going to try to do it as fast as I can. She sells those items. We're going to go right back out. I'm going to build up $1,000 so I can start my strategy, which is a little different. And I've shared some of that with you guys. And I'll continue to keep sharing my strategy and how I do what I do. So I want to tell you about a very, very, very special webinar. I've been on the Facebook pages and stuff, on the group pages. I have been posting some surveys about what the best time for a webinar is. So I read online that on Tuesdays was the best day. So then lo and behold, I did some surveys, and a lot of people put down Tuesday nights as a great night. Let me see how many people we got in here now. So we have 56 people like in the room live, but we had over 320 people register to see the replay of the webinar. So what it tells me is a lot of people want the information, and I'm getting the reviews. So we'll get 200-300 of these reviews of the show, but we're not getting those people live. And I'm not saying they have to be here live, but it's a great way in case you have to ask questions or something like that. So what I'm going to do is on Sunday nights, I'm going to start doing like how to pick a product every Sunday. So what we're going to do is we're going to get on here, and if you haven't seen me use the top 100 generator, we're going to use the product inspector. So we're going to use that AmaSuite software, and we're going to show you how we search products. Now, if you don't have AmaSuite, that's all right. It's not like you have to have it, but you'll be able to see how we actually find products that we think are viable as a group. And then we'll have some open discussions. So Sunday night, for us live people, what we'll do is we'll get here on Sundays and we'll meet each other up, and it'll be very open and loose. It'll just be us talking. I won't have like a real agenda except for, hey, we're going to look for products. I may even have some of you guys come in and talk about where you're at in your experience. Just remember this, no matter where you are in your journey on your Amazon business, if you're at step 2, you're the most important step to the person who just started at step 1. You have the most accurate information. You just got it. You just opened your account. And if I've never opened an account and you can help me open an account, then guess what? What we've done is we've moved things forward, and we give the ability to be able to help the next person. So always know no matter how inexperienced you are. Hey, listen, maybe if you've only been in business before, maybe we've only done stuff on eBay or something like that. So, but that would then give somebody who's never done anything. So you're always valuable to anybody. If you've got your first product up, if you've done product research, all of those things are valuable to people below you. So just remember that you can always help someone else. So never think that the information you have is not important. I get people all the time. I look at my hands. I would talk with my hands. I grew up in an Italian town. So you guys can all help each other. And can I tell you, that is vital to what we do. And I'll talk about, many of you guys are probably in our mastermind groups. We've broken those down into small groups. And I'll talk about that at the end of the webinar. But I think it is absolutely the most valuable thing you can do is to find yourself a community of people, or even if it's people around you that can help and support you and give you advice and do those things. And obviously all these groups are out there. But what I'm going to tell you is that some of you, I see and accept you into the group. And it tells me how many people that you in groups you're in. I've seen people that have been as many as 250 groups. Okay, I'm telling you this, you're not getting any information, and all you're doing is putting yourself in front of a fire hose, like the ones they use to put out fires for the fire department, not one on the side of your house. And you're taking one of those things and blasting yourself with gallons and gallons of water, and you're just getting knocked over and you're drowning. You're drowning because you have all this information that's unnecessary to you at this time. The only information that's necessary to you right now is what's next. And we talk about inside the groups, we talk about the Magic 3. I'll talk about that later in the program today. But so Tuesday nights, we're going to start doing this on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock Central Time. It's always available for replay. So don't worry about if somehow you're not able to make it on Tuesday. It's just as good live as it is recorded, because it's still me and my personality gets over there on the screen anyway. So Tuesday nights, the Tuesday night jungle jam, and every week on Tuesday nights, we're going to get together and we're going to talk about these topics that I think matter to everybody. We're going to do products about listing. We're going to do shows about reviews. And consequently, if you have sold your product, now I know I've helped a lot of the beginning people out, so let's talk about what I can do. And that's what we're going to do on May 5th. So May 5th, put this on your calendar. And I will, as soon as I'm going to email everybody this, I'm going to post it on the pages tonight. But my real big deal, and I've been working lots and lots of time on it because there's a lot of information, and I'm going to be able to share a lot of information. But that will be on Tuesday, May 5th. And are you ready? It's going to be called How to Get 100 Reviews in 30 Days and Skyrocket Your BSR. So like I said, I've been working on that. So once again, it's going to be called How to Get 100 Reviews in 30 Days and Skyrocket Your BSR. And so I'm really proud of this that I've been working on, because I have some crazy information. Now, let me tell you this, guys, I take things really seriously when I do. So I think there may be some things that some people may not agree with. And if you don't want to agree with me, I understand. And I sometimes do things that are a little bit pushing up to the line. But I'll talk about why and why I think that they're important and why I think that it can help you immensely. I'm in my business to make money, and I will push as much as I can to figure that out. So if you want to learn like some super secret ways, you want to learn some stuff that's a little gray hat, not black hat, it's not going to, it's not going to get you banned off of Facebook unless you piss off your neighbor or something. I don't know. But so Tuesday, not this Tuesday, May the 5th, it's Cinco de Mayo. So it'll be a Cinco de Mayo jungle jam, Tuesday night, May 5th, how to get 100 reviews in 30 days and skyrocket your BSR. So I hope you'll come to that and register for that. Hey, I want to tell you, I'm going to put this in the link page. If you haven't got this, we've actually had enough shirts I just put that. And if you see that, take a click on it. Look, we've got some brand new t-shirts. For those of you guys that are in the Gorillaz Mastermind groups, then you may appreciate this. And if not, it's a pretty cool t-shirt. They're going to come in about 8 days. I put them on Teespring. And Teespring, you have to sell like at least 5 or 10 shirts, and we've crossed over the line now. So if you'd like to get your own Amazon Gorillaz t-shirt, I'll show that to you when I pull up I'll let you guys screen share with me, and you can see what that looks like. Me and everybody around me are getting them just because it's kind of cool. It's what we do. So it kind of gives us a teammate feeling around the people around my office and the people I work with. But tonight, guys, here it is. Let's get to the action. I've talked with you for about 15 minutes about these other things, so probably took too long. Tonight, we're going to talk about the products to avoid selling when you're just starting out. Now, this means that when you're just starting out, what we're going to try to do tonight is, and this may work for everybody, I still employ about 80% of these things. And by the way, let me tell you this information that I give you, I evolve sometimes. Sometimes I find out new information and I change, and you got to be able to adapt to that. And I'll talk about one of these things in a little bit, which I've kind of changed my theory on. And it's because I've become more global in my thought process. At one point, I was very focused on single individual products and where those products actually laid inside. It didn't matter what was around them. It's just find this one product. Well, I've changed my view on that just a little bit, and I'll share about why that's later. I don't know if you guys know any background about me. You've been around. I've been in business for myself for 20 years, and so it's all real-world business experience that I'm trying to share and just insights. My business has done over $15 million in revenue in the last 10 years. I've sold a bunch of products I shouldn't have probably, and paid for a college tuition at Vanderbilt trying to figure it out. Previous to what I do now, and I do this full time, I was in the restaurant and bar business and have owned over 25 restaurants and bars over the last almost 20 years, actually. I've sold cell phone covers with superheroes on them. So when I first started, I screwed up everything you could possibly screw up. I bought t-shirts one time that you could flip the top up over and it had like Batman's face. And so it had Batman's symbol and you flipped it up and it had Batman's face on it. I thought that was going to be the greatest thing ever. But unfortunately, I did not, or fortunately, I didn't buy fake ones. So they were legit ones, but didn't sell. I mean, I actually ended up selling them out, but it certainly took way too long. So I've tried to private label stuff early on that was very unsuccessful. And that was when I was actually in the process of selling or trying to get out of my business. I actually started doing some private label stuff, and it was more food oriented stuff. I did some sauces that I did all right, but you know, it certainly wasn't gangbusters. And then my big, well, I call it a hot disaster. In Nashville, they have this stuff called hot chicken rub. And my brother and I ended up on a television show, and we ended up winning this hot chicken competition. So it was on national TV. And I said, listen, we've got to brand this product, and we've got to get our own product out. So what I did was I ended up getting this rub that you do to make hot chicken. And hot chicken's a really big local thing in Nashville right now. It's kind of like, you know, things in New Orleans are regional things. And so hot chicken's really big. So I ended up purchasing and getting this rub made. And at the end of the day, no one wanted my rub. They didn't care if it was on TV or not. You know, I think I still got a bunch of boxes. So Hello. Hey. Hey. I'm not unmuted. Anybody, hello, anybody, we get back. Did we get back? I'm singing. Anybody can hear me. It says I'm talking. Hello, can you hear me now? I did change mics and it says I'm hearing you now. Hello. 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 Hey, that's my backup microphone. All right, I had to move the mic. I had to move the TV because it's a microphone. And all right, there we go. All cool. I pulled up. I had to take off my regular microphone. I don't know what happened to it. So hopefully I'll have to. Hopefully I'll have to edit that out when you do the replay so it doesn't look so stupid. But hey, today I actually got nervous for the first time doing this, and I guess it was because I realized that I was live on there, and there's all these people all over the country. When I had talked to Paul in France, it just he knew things about my life that were. I mean, it was cool that he knew him, but it was like, really, people actually paying attention to what my dog's name is. So I'm sorry about that. It's live TV, I guess. It's the way it goes. So it's like your projector going out when you're doing a presentation. So let's get back to it. So tonight we're going to talk about the categories to avoid. Oh, okay. Somebody wants me to adjust my camera a little more. It's not mess with it too much. Let me sit down a little bit. That's my face. That's my face. That's what I got for you. If it's not good enough, then we're in trouble. So, all right, back in the swing. You handled that like a real DJ. Well, I appreciate that, Tone. Actually, guys, I was a DJ. That's how I started out in this business. I was spinning records, and I started my first business when I was 16, and so I started DJing these high school dances. So at one point, I was a DJ, and so that's what I did. So panicking in front of people's, I'm pretty good at panicking. So tonight, again, we're going to talk about the categories to avoid. We're going to talk about products with high risks that have a high rate of returns. We're going to talk about products that have high failure rates, things that break down that then get returns. We're going to talk about products that have higher shipping rates. They have higher storage rates because they're at odd size or they're too big to store, and so Amazon charges you more money to have them there. We're going to talk about products with low profitability. We're going to talk about products that have low demand. We're going to talk about products that have too much competition or don't have enough competition. So we're going to talk about all those things. So those are the things we're going to cover tonight. With millions and millions of people and millions of products being sold on Amazon, trying to figure out a product is probably pretty overwhelming. And I hear a lot of that from a lot of people, how overwhelming it is to find a product. So, when you're out there, you're going to run into situations that you're not going to expect, and they're going to catch you off guard. And tonight what it's about is eliminating some of those things. So what we're going to try to do is to show you how to save some times by looking at a page and knowing that this is not a product that I would buy. This is not a product that I would sell. And I can scan a page and eliminate 20 things that I wouldn't even look at. Especially if you're using, if you're using the top 100 analyzer and you get in there and you get to your preview and you see all the products, I can scan down, almost do them instantaneously. No. And I use this exact same process when I'm looking. So what I hope tonight happens, and my goal is to alleviate some of the fears that you're having about picking a product and actually getting and making it easier and making the time go quicker. So there's no hard and fast rules to this, guys. All this stuff is kind of subjective, and some of it is by touch and feel. But how you get that, and if you'll continue to look at my documents and you'll listen from other people, but you're just trying to find a product that you can eliminate as many things that have a possible risk and put you in the best possible light to be able to buy a product. Because for many of you, when you're getting started, you have a certain limited amount of budget, even if it's $5,000 or $10,000. Well, if you have over $10,000, or really between $7,500 and $10,000, I've got some options I'll share with you at the end that could absolutely change the way in which you're doing business. So if you have $2,000, $3,000 and you're getting started in your business, you can't afford to pick the wrong product the first time. Now, my strategy allows for you a little bit of risk and a little bit of ways in which you can avoid some of that by not getting your first product from Alibaba. So, but however you get it, you don't want to actually search products and then decide to buy a product that, has some high risk that you can't see. You can't afford common mistakes or things that, you could avoid. And we'll talk about how some of them are pretty obvious and how some of them aren't. So by this way, you're going to be able to eliminate these products and be able to make yourself at a position where your odds are better. So you shouldn't pick products that have these unnecessary risks. And what I want to do is give you as many advantages as you can to win. I want to give you everything on your side. So when you make a call and you invest your money that you've been saving or you've borrowed or whatever it is to get started, I want to make sure you have every advantage on the table that you possibly can have so that you're not setting yourself up before you get there. So first, let's talk about the categories or things you can't sell. Amazon says if you sell restricted products, they can immediately suspend or terminate your selling privileges and destroy the inventory in their fulfillment centers without reimbursement. So Amazon will take your product, go burn it, and you're never getting it back. You lose everything if you sent them something that is in their restricted area and something you're not allowed to do. So why don't we just go to the Amazon page and we'll go through these and we'll talk about them a little bit and then we'll be able to share. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Let me get to here. All righty. Hi, everybody. Anybody else have any questions before I stop putting me on camera and give you the internet? Any questions before I get too further in there? Yes, I've lost the toddler audience tonight. I sure have. I won't cuss or swear though. I promise. I'll try not to. All right. Anybody else? Hey, and by the way, yes, I am. Tony, I am like the clumsiest guy on earth. I fall down on the ground at least once or twice a week, on the ground, flat out. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I'm a pretty graceful faller, so I fall gracefully. So at least I've learned how to do that. All right. Anybody else got any other questions? I'm going to go. So we're going to screen share. Hey. Can everybody see the screen share now? Can you see what it looks like? Somebody give me a yes. Anybody got me? Anybody got me? Live TV, we're screen sharing. Anybody tell me a yes? Do you got the screen? It says everybody's got the screen. It says I'm sharing with you. All right. Hello. All right. Nobody's talking to me. You got to talk to me. We're going to talk about restricted products. So yes, I'm going to talk about my favorite 4 categories. All right. There we go. Somebody told me I had that. You guys got to listen so I can know you're here. I don't want to lose everybody and lose my microphone and then I talk for 10 minutes and you don't hear anything. There we go. It's slow. There we go. I don't know why. I just loaded them all at the same time. Hey, thank you guys. I'm sorry for there. So Amazon has a bunch of restricted categories and a bunch of places that you cannot sell on. So here's some of these things that you absolutely are not allowed to sell on or do anything like that. I'm trying to pull this up here. All right, so let's talk about the categories that you can't sell on, and these aren't actually all in here, but so here's the things that Amazon says, hey, you know what? We're going to sell these and you can't sell them. So unlimited instant videos, you can't sell those. You can't sell MP3s or the cloud player. You can't sell Amazon Cloud Drive. You can't sell apps for the store for Android. You can't sell Kindle or Kindle ebooks or e-readers. The Kindle Fire tablets you can't sell, Amazon Fire tablets, and so those are some of the things you can't sell in because they're just theirs. Now let's talk about the products that you can't sell stuff in. So some of these are pretty interesting if you'll see here. So right here is where we go. And so alcohol is one of them. So let's press on alcohol. So Amazon now sells wine. So, but you have to be really approved to sell wine. If you don't have a winery, you're probably not going to sell wine on Amazon. But outside of that, if you have a food product that has some alcohol in it, you can see, let me make this a little bigger for everybody. That's a little better. So alcohol, wine, beer making kits, they're all right. Alcohol related products. So if you're buying like corkscrews and it says decanters and things like that, alcohol memorabilia is okay, but you can't sell alcohol. You can't sell liquor. You can't go down to the liquor store and put up some bottles of vodka and start selling it. So you can't do that. In some states, you have alcoholic beverage licenses. You have some alcoholic beverage licenses that you can't sell. So that is another thing that you can't sell. So that's the alcohol area. So if you're planning on being into the alcohol part of this or want to be in the alcohol business, you need to, first of all, I wouldn't suggest you do that anyway, because that's not a great business, I can tell you. It's very hard. Let's talk about animal products. Now, there are some strange things that I think they let you sell on Amazon that are kind of odd to me, but they'll let you sell some live plants. They'll let you sell insects and worms. So you can buy crickets on there. And there's this guy that's selling crickets right now, and he is crushing it. This guy figured out how to get these crickets, I think, sent from another country, but he actually sells crickets. Now, they don't take them into the warehouse. Imagine that. Imagine if all his crickets got out of FBA. But he fulfills it by merchant, and he sells crickets. You can sell live shellfish. You can sell bait. You can sell all kinds of things like that. But here's where the issue comes in. Okay, you can't sell live creatures. You can't sell pets and livestock or mammals. You can't sell cheetahs and jaguars. You can't sell their fur or feathers. You can't do that. You can't sell parts of cats and dogs. So if you have a restaurant and you're trying to get some cats and dog parts, you cannot get them from Amazon. You can't sell parts of whales or dolphins. Some of this is just silliness that you probably know, but I looked at it earlier and I thought some of these are hilarious. You can't sell shark fin products or whale meat or shark liver oil. So if you're planning on selling, if some of you have chosen and you found someplace else, you found shark liver oil, you're not going to sell it, not get your deal. Fine art and home decor art, basically they're pretty simple. You can sell one-of-a-kind paintings. So if you want to paint your own paintings and put them up there in drawings, you can certainly sell that. You can print limited edition stuff you can sell. You can take the only work of edition you can sell prints if they're numbered and signed. But here's the things you can't sell. You can't sell artwork without a name listed. You can't sell artwork that's mass-produced or commercial work that has been hand-painted called brush to canvas. You can't sell gilkey, which is like when you have a canvas and you just paint stuff on it. So promotional posters and advertisements that don't meet the requirements above. So, I don't think anybody here is probably typically wanting to build their own art. If you are, you're probably at the wrong webinar. The same with art and decor. Home or automotive. Here's some things. If you want to go in the catalytic converter business or high-intensity discharge conversion kits, tires and batteries. Now you have to ship those yourself. I don't believe they're going to take Amazon or batteries inside of Amazon. So here, there's a lot of things, you can't, like one of the things that Amazon's real big about is not breaking the rules. So they're not going to let you have cell jammers or GPS jammers or laser jammers or PC jammers or radar, Wi-Fi jammers. They're not going to give you things that you can kind of go out and act subversive or undercover. And another part, they won't let you get video cameras that have audio on it. Now I don't know how they're not selling a camera like I have right now, but technically they're not supposed to sell you security cameras that have audio with them, and we'll see that in a minute. So So I don't know how many of you want to get into the parts business. The problem with parts is one of the things I don't suggest is don't get yourself into pieces and parts of other people's manufactured equipment, because you're competing with the guy who sells it, and that makes it much harder. Clothing, and some of these aren't actually, they're gated, but drugs and drug paraphernalia, you know, you can do drugs approved for over-the-counter purchase that are not prohibited by Amazon policies. There's obviously a lot of dietary supplements, but you got to meet their requirements. But so here's some of the things you can't sell. Synthetic cannabinoids, which are basically they synthetically make the THC in marijuana, and they put it in stuff, and then it's chemically induced, and it's not good for people, and people were dying from it. You can't sell certain seeds and plants, bath salts, and not like bath salts you really take a bath in. These bath salts, you can't get in there, and the bath salts, you can't go in there, the ones that they snort and get these kids all fired up. But here's some of the things that really, you know, people may want to sell that you can't sell on Amazon. A lot of these things you can sell on eBay. Man, eBay will sell a lot of stuff that you can't sell. But on Amazon, it's a little classier, higher place for products. And people are willing to spend more money on Amazon anyway. So you can't sell butane honey oil extract kits. And basically what they do in Colorado, they're extracting all the THC out of these things. And that's what that is. You can't sell bongs and dab kits and rose glass pipes or similar. You can't sell stuff to do drugs with. Nitrous oxide crackers. So you can't sell derivatives of cocaine or coca leaves, ketamine. I guess that's cat. I think that's cat-like stuff. You can't. It's like cat tranquilizer or something. I don't know why people do some crazy drugs. I don't know. You can't sell hallucinogenic mushrooms or any mushrooms marked as hallucinogenic effects. You can't sell prescription drugs. So there's a whole list of stuff here. If you want to look through it. I just thought it was neat to go in and look at, you know, what they were doing. You can't sell, basically you can't sell bongs and things like that. So there's a lot of things that you can't sell on Amazon. Electronics, we'll talk about that. Grocery and food. There's obviously some restrictions in there, but you can get in there. When we talk about things you can't do. You can't do gambling or lottery. You can't sell slot machines. I don't know if that means you can't sell stuff in slot machines, but you can't sell lottery tickets or something like that. Intellectual property violations. And basically, this is the stuff people talk about. So you can get yourself into trouble, and that's why this is important. If you start selling counterfeit products, Amazon is very likely to be able to suspend your account, and you may never get it back. So if you're selling, we'll talk about this in the actual products to avoid, is that you can't sell Disney stuff that you get from China. China will print anything. There's no one's enforcing copyright on them there. They'll have one line out the back where they're putting Louis Vuitton purses. On the other line, they're putting Louis Vuitton purses to sell for, you know, $40 like they do in New York City. Matter of fact, when I first started out and I first started buying stuff and selling stuff, I would go to New York City, and I think I was about 18 or 19 years old, and I would go get me purses from Chinatown, and I'd come back and sell them. So that was my first business in trying to buy and white label products. Well, I didn't white label. I might have told people it was for me. I went and got it. But I think people knew that I was not selling a Louis Vuitton purse for $100 when they're, you know, $600 or $700. So bootleg copies of anything, bootleg anything, software, video games. You can't copy your CDs at home and sell them on Amazon. Hazardous and dangerous items. So they do restrict some things, and so your batteries can't contain mercury. If your product has batteries with it, there's some issues that you got to deal with. Prohibited items, fire extinguishers, refrigerants, cleaning agents. You can't sell black powder. So if any of you guys were planning on selling black powder, you are not going to be able to do it. So you may have to go start a fireworks stand and do that. Projectile flares, bacteria cultures, pesticides, light bulbs. So there's stuff there that you can't sell. And I know some of this is probably basic and we understand this. It's a little bit entertaining, but some people, you know, decide that they want to sell things in these categories. And I'm not saying lots of them, but some of you will want to sell some of these things, and like you just need to know right off the bat that you can't. How about human body parts and burial artifacts? So listen, if any of y'all want to sell your blood, this is not the place to do it, okay? What else? We talked about intellectual property, jewelry. Well, I mean, we'll talk about that in a second. Kindle accessories. Amazon's not going to allow you to put Kindle in your ad. You can say that this product is compatible with Kindle products, but you can't sell actual accessories. They control that because it's their product. They're not going to let you do that. Laser pointers. You can't get in that category anymore. They only let certain people because they're dangerous and people are shining them at airplanes, and so they limit that. Offensive products. Let's talk about that. You know, you can't promote glorified hatred. You can't do things that are racial or sexual in nature. You can't put crime scene photography out. So you can't take pictures of bodies and put them up there. You can't put human body parts. You know, you can't retrieve products from a disaster or tragedy and then put them up there. Video, sound recordings taken without someone's permission. So these are those things that you wouldn't think, but people probably are trying to sell pictures for you know, dead bodies. And so if your business plan was to start selling pictures of crime scene photographs, you're going to have to reevaluate, okay? Postage meters and stamps. You can't sell recalled products. So if a product's been recalled, you can't sell it. So don't think you got a good deal on a bin of something that's been discontinued and you're going to go put it up. And if you don't, and they find that out, they're going to suspend your account. Sex and sensuality. So they will let you sell things. And not that you can't, and they do have sex products, and that's not to say you can't get into that. I don't know, about a year ago, I looked pretty heavily into some of this and spent some time in that category, and there's just so many hoops that you had to jump through. There's some people making a lot of money in that category. So they're not going to let you buy stuff for like women for girls for like bachelorette parties and things like that. You can find at Spencer Gifts. There's not a lot of that. And then, of course, it comes down to amateur pornography and X-rated movies and hardcore magazines. Sexual health products are listed by pre-approved sellers, so you can't go out there and list sexual devices. I won't talk any more in depth than that. You can't sell adult novelty products. And here's my favorite one, that the only girl, quote, quote, that's ever been underage and been in pornography, she has her name listed on the Amazon site. There's Tracy Lords, and if you have any pornography related to Tracy before 1986, you are probably in violation of child pornography. And she has her own place on, like they said, no pornography. I don't know how, like Tracy Lords, if you're not having pornography, how they listed that. Probably the controller thought it was just funny who's writing that. Stolen property, you can't go get some stolen stuff. Surveillance equipment, I told you about that. There's some odd things in there. Tobacco or tobacco-related products. Now, you can sell ashtrays and cigarette cutters and hookahs and humidors and lighters. Now, I don't know how they let people get hookahs, but you won't let them get bongs. You know, I mean, it's just those things that Amazon, like I said, has some oddity things that they're not as, you know, you don't know really why they're doing it. Collectibles that do not contain tobacco. So basically, you can't sell blunt wrappers and cigarettes and cigars. You just can't sell. Now, they also aren't letting people sell e-cigarettes or e-hookahs or e-electronic pipes or cigars. Now, if you're in that business, now listen, I'm not saying there's a lot of, there was. I think that rush is over. It's kind of like Grill Gloves on Amazon. But this electronic cigarette thing was very, I almost opened up a retail store and did an online store too. I actually had the money in my hand and was getting ready to do it because I had some extra space in one of my buildings, and I'm like, I can put this in. Well, literally around that business, there are now 3 within 100 yards, and there's another 8 open in town because everybody ran towards that, but you can't sell them on Amazon. So you can't sell dip and things like that. I think that's drug paraphernalia. We talked about that earlier. Can't sell weapons. You can't sell weapons, okay? Now, there are some weapons you can sell. So if you're thinking about, I mean, some of them, and if you sell weapons, the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms are not going to let you get toy guns if they look anything like a real gun. Airsoft guns are have to be marked that they're air or spring driven. They can't say they look like a gun. So they don't want people out getting killed and then blaming them. BB guns, they have to be marked that they are air powered, and that's what they are. You can't certain gun parts you can sell, but you can't sell things. What they're worried about is parts that you may be able to do something with another gun. Paintball accessories, the airsoft barrels, and I don't know, but I'm thinking somehow you may be able to adapt those barrels. I don't know why they wouldn't let you sell the barrels or the airsoft magazines. I don't know what that means. It doesn't make sense. Certain knives and swords, hunting knives, kitchen knives, I guess are okay. I'm trying to make sure. Yeah, those are all okay. Yeah, I know that because I've got kitchen knives. Replica swords you can, machetes, throwing spears and knives, crossbows and hank. So there's a lot of stuff you can sell. Slingshots. Like why they're selling those and they won't sell other things, I don't know. And you can sell pepper spray. That seems like that's some smart thing. I wonder if they allow that in. I don't know if they. Does anybody know if they allow you to fulfill by merchant pepper spray? That would seem something that'd be bad to have in a warehouse. Guns, antique guns are not going to let you, or they're going to let you sell. All right. Get that. Oh, I'm sorry. That was right. That's what I thought. I got costed there. I moved too fast. Examples of prohibited items. These are, and you'll see starter guns, zip guns, black powder, ammunition. They'll let you sell. They'll let you sell like the cases that you can put stuff in, but that's it. All right. So those are the products that you cannot absolutely sell. And it gives you some ideas. I hope that was helpful for some of you. If any of you guys were talking about doing that. So here is the products that you can sell, but you have to get pre-approval to be in them. So you have to have it ungated. Now I'm not going to tell you that it's really, really hard, and I'm going to do a video, some webinar stuff about how to get ungated in these categories later. But here's my thought process in that. If you're just getting started, let's not try to jump through extra hoops. You already have enough stuff to learn. Why add the fact that you got to sell something in one of these categories? There's enough other products out there that you can sell that don't put you in a place where you have to jump through an extra hoop. Remember, when you're getting started, is to keep it simple. Don't get yourself 80 new things. Now, if you've been selling and you're on your second product, I would suggest maybe even do 2 products, or on your third product, then try to maybe open one of these categories. Now, if you're just dead set and you want to be in health and beauty, man, then go ahead. And I'll let you see some of the things that they ask for this. So 3D design, so people are using 3D printers. And so 3D printers now, you can make products with them. So, but they're typically for display, and I read it, and they're for display, and you can make them, and they have to be new only. Automotive and power sports. So you can have them, and they can be refurbished and collectible, new and used. So you can do tires and wheels for all vehicle types. So you can have tires and wheels. I don't know. Again, that's not something that's too big for me. I don't know if you can actually. I wonder if anybody knows if you can have tires stored at the warehouse. It would make sense that they probably would do tires, but if not, you may have to send that fulfilled by merchant. So beauty, and that's a category a lot of people want to get in. So let's go look at so there's the requirements for it. You must be an Amazon Pro merchant, which you have to be anyway. You must be able to provide acceptable documentation and information we request about those products you intend to do. After you request approval in Beauty Counter, we will contact you with additional information. So to get in beauty, I think one of the things, I don't think they require it, but they would love to see a website. You have to be able to show them that the products that you're getting aren't going to hurt people or harm people. So that's some of the stuff. So, you know, bath gel, it's stuff that you touch yourself with on your body, like on the outside, makeup and things like that. Now, as long as you can get the documentation or where it comes from and how it's done, then that's okay to do. Clothing and accessories. Hey, you know, there's a lot of things that you can make money on clothing and accessories. Now, one of my things about clothing and accessories, I'm sorry, guys, is one of my big problems with clothing and accessories is that you have to go in 2 different directions. So if you buy a product, you may have to go in three. You may have to go sizes and colors, and then on all those categories, you have to go up. So you have to go horizontal and vertical. Well, why put yourself in the first time you get something where you got to buy one product and you got to buy small, medium, large? So now you almost have to triple the amount of product that you get. So don't get yourself into a small, medium, large, or red, white, and blue color combination. So you want to keep that product as, you know, flat as you can. So you just buy and you go vertical and not horizontal. So if you're doing horizontal buying, you know, what if you buy equal amounts of small, medium, and large, and you don't know how much you do, and so you waste half your inventory and you run out of medium and still got 100 smalls. So if that makes any sense, that's just some of the things in my strategy. And by the way, all of these things you can do and not, and it's okay. It's not like you can't become and do these things. But I go back to, are we trying to reduce what it is you're doing so that you can avoid some of these risks when you're first starting out? Because if you screw it up, you may not be able to get back in for a while. So all your products must be authentic. So I'm not going to talk about this much, but basically, if you need this information's out there. Collectible coins. Listen, you don't want to get yourself into products that you're not an expert in. Unless you're an expert in coins, that's great. But in reality, if you're selling coins, you're not doing private labeling. What you're doing is basically buying stuff and selling. I think that's a different business model. Books and collectibles. Listen, there's a lot of money out there. People are making a ton of money, and lots of RA people are doing books. But again, I might be interested in going once a week and doing RA and running around, you know, and finding stuff like it's a lottery, like scraping off, you know, scratch lottery tickets at the gas station. But I'm not willing to spend all my time every week and have a part-time job to go out and try to find products. So I've decided, you know, with the Mindy Project, we're going to go out, and anytime we're in a store, we're going to go see what's in the clearance aisle. And one of the reasons I want Mindy to do it this way is that's how all of you should start. Not one of you should start with getting some retail arbitrage products, because that'll give you the opportunity to start your account. That'll give you an opportunity to be able to do fulfilled by merchant. That'll also give you the ability to be able to learn how to do to send stuff and to do FBA, so you can get some stuff in there while you're searching. So that should be on your top 3 that you start out with. Get my account open, and I want to get something. I want to learn the process. So that may be one of those things on your 3 that week, in your magic 3, that you're going to get up and you're going to, okay, this week I'm going to figure out how to get a product and I'm going to send it to Amazon. Or I'm just going to hold it and do a listing. So maybe do the listing first and then put it up for sale. So now you have something on Amazon selling within the first, you know, week of you actually signing up. And now your mind tells you that you're actually in business, because you are. So that's what you need to do, is get yourself some retail arbitrage. Collectibles, again, if it needs expertness, if you have to be an expert to do it, then you probably shouldn't be doing that the first time. Don't get yourself into something that's not worth anything and he was told that it was. You can't sell gift cards for other places. Grocery, now there's people making money in groceries. There really is. But that's not what our business model is, or it's not mine. It's not what I'm trying to help people do. Health and personal care. Listen, there's a lot of money, and I'm in the moment at this moment right now. I'm launching a health and beauty product and a line of them, and they're going to be called Butterfly Kisses. And so they're all natural products. And guess what? I'm going to ask your guys' help here someday soon. For all you ladies out there, if you're listening, I'm going to send you free beauty products, and I would really appreciate if you guys will do some reviews for me. And we'll talk about that and how important that is for everybody in my small groups, and how we can absolutely kill it for each other because we're in this strong team. So that's what we do in the masterminds, and I'm going to talk about. We haven't done that yet, but we're getting ready to. So I like health and beauty, but again, I don't think you should be doing that and trying to ungate yourself and maybe get yourself in trouble by buying something. Industrial and scientific, independent design stuff. If you're doing jewelry. Again, big category, lots of stuff, luggage and travel accessories, backpacks and briefcases and things like that, umbrellas and travel accessories. Those are all things that you have to jump through some hoops, and you can't, and if you don't want to jump through hoops first, shoes and handbags and sunglasses, sports collectibles, videos, DVDs, watches, and wine. So those are all the categories that you have to get ungated. So let me phrase this one more time to make sure it's clear. I don't think it's a problem for you to be in those categories. It's just one of those things that if you're going to add to the puzzle something that isn't, that you have to take more steps to do. And some of these you have to been selling for a while to even get in them. So you have to have a certain rating. You have to have been sold so many products over a certain period of time, and you have to have a certain score in your reviews. So to get in them is going to take you more time, and you just don't need to jump through that hoop right now. So wait till your third product. So I'm officially saying, from my opinion, you should wait until your third product before you start getting into a ungated category. So that's my thought on that. So let's go to the next one. So we're going to talk about product sizes, and I'll get in this here again in a minute. But bottom line is my goal, because A1, I teach two things. I teach to start out not with, unless you can really find a secure supplier in China that you know is vetted and you know that they're a legitimate company. Right now, there's a lot of people experiencing problems coming out of China because credit cards and people are taking your money. I got a story last week, and my buddy in Hong Kong, and he's going to actually come on here in a couple weeks, and we're going to talk about some really great stuff we got put coming up. But anyway, he told me about a story about a lady who shipped her payment in, and the address of the company was on the 24th floor of such and such building. And so one of his partners actually went over to the building, and he walked inside and said, "We're, 24th floor. I want to see this office." And she goes, "Well, only our office building goes up to 23 floors." So that's happening to people out there. So you're going to have to take your due diligence to figure out whether these companies are actually legitimate. And I'm going to share with you something. If you guys are into that third product, maybe fourth product area, that could be a game changer for you. And I'm trying to make it a game changer for some early people, but some of you guys are going to be really excited about seeing what I'm working on. So my product sizes that I'd like for you to have are really, well, it says 20 pounds before you get out of a standard size. So if you're putting it on a boat, 20 pounds is fine. I don't suggest putting your stuff on a boat right now. And I would say before I got to my fourth or fifth product, I would not get a product that you want to put on a boat and wait, because you're 60 days, and if something screws up, you're 90 days from now. So if you're ready to start your business 90 days from now and then spend, so you're 4 months, by the time you find a product, get a product, you're 4 months out before you can get it. So I suggest, again, that you fourth or fifth product, or your second or third order of the product you're sending by air. So then you can reduce your costs. So what's one of the things you should evaluate up front is, does this product have the ability to drop in price dramatically if I quit sending it through the air? And imagine if you had a product that has a 35 or 40% margin in it, and all of a sudden you're able to jump up 10, 15% because you're putting on a boat. That's great. But up front, we don't want to create, because here, guess what? It's another step. Another step is, I got to go and figure out how to get my product on a boat and how it gets forwarded, how it goes through customs and does all of these things. So to step over that whole boundary just seems like it's not creating better odds for you. And better odds is to get a product, your first product, not from Alibaba. You get it from AliExpress, or you find a company in America that wholesales a product. There's several wholesalers out there that have products they import from China. Listen, all you are as an Amazon seller is basically you're buying at a wholesale and you're selling at retail. Sometimes there's not enough margin, but you need to get your first experience. You need to find a product, and then if you can source it and you can get it. Now, listen, I see products all the time. The product that I've done several of these products in the past, and I always like to start there because now I'm able to overcome that because I have suppliers that I use. But up front, when you get a product and you go, oh, I got to go talk to somebody in China, you can go right now, guys, this evening. You can go on AliExpress, and people are like, well, the products are more expensive. You just have to look like any place else. There's usually people in there selling them at wholesale, and you have to buy lots of 10 or 20 or 50. But you can buy as little as one. And how this works is you go in there, and Alibaba's set up like a credit. It's just like Amazon. It's the Chinese Amazon for retail over there. But because products are coming from there, you can basically take them out of there. Now, some of you ask questions about how you white label that or private label that, and that'll be a discussion for another deal. But I was able to, by my boxes and how I was able to put stickers on them, to white label it so I could, have a product that no one else could copy. So that is one of the factors. So my other factors, so we talk about product and shipping. So product units are 20 pounds or less, and that's if you're putting on a boat. But my suggestion is you got to be under 2 pounds. And I really would love for it if you could be under 16 ounces. So that's one of those things you definitely want to avoid, is to get in a 20-pound product. I want you to fly them. So 1 to 2 pounds. So size-wise, so when you're flying stuff, the bigger it is, the more money it costs. Not just weights, it's more about volume because they're putting it on a plane. So you want a product that's about 8 by 8 by 8. If you could put in an 8 by 8 box, great. If you have to be a little bit bigger than that, but again, the bigger that product gets, the more it costs to be shipped here. So I'm going to share with you my document, I think. Well, let's talk about this right now. So some products to avoid. Products with too much competition. How about that? How about grill gloves and brushes and yoga mats and the famous right now French press? The French press. Now, some of you guys are selling the French press. Man, get your inventory sold, because there's literally 100 products in the top 100. French press, French press. Let's go all the way to 80. French press is still there. So, I mean, all of those categories are top 100 of just the coffee presses. And guess what? There's another 100 out there, maybe 200 or 300 of these out there selling. So that's too much competition. Do not and avoid that. Okay, so people press me all the time. And what's your number? How many products? So I'm going to give it to you. And I don't like doing this, and I've been thinking about it and telling people, because I don't want people to be stuck at this number. That doesn't mean that you can go above it. Remember, none of these are hard and fast rules. But if I had to say, Rob, you got to give me a number, I'm going to say I don't want any more than 100 people competing with me, 125 max. I've done some 150s in a competitive category, and only reason man, it's a competition to me. Like, I want to compete with people, because on the front end, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a better lister. I'm a better marketer. I'm better than a lot of people at what I do. So I'm not as scared to go up to 150. Guys, I would tell you this. On your first product, get yourself under 100. If there is a top 100 of just your product, that's, that category is pretty competitive, because guess what? You start out below 100. So when you put your product up, now you can see here, some of these people, they've got 111 reviews. And this guy's number 98. He has 111 reviews. This guy's got 600 reviews, and he's on number 95. So that just shows you how many you are. So if you enter this category, you're going to be on page, 200. I don't know. You're going to be so far back that you're going to have to spend. Garbatrage. Tony says garbatrage. I don't disagree. Is that my Tony? Is that my Tony in Louisville? I don't know if that's it. I think it is. But, I maybe should have said that. But people who do arbitrage, it's a hard deal. But let's get back to the coffee. You got me distracted, T. So if there's 100 products, guys, and below that, if there was only, what I would like you to see is if you look at a top 100 and a product does have 100, well, like by the time I get to this last page, I'm going to want to see stuff on this page for probably the last, from the 50 up. I want to go through, and I don't want to see everything that's coffee French press. I want to see stuff that's not. I want to see coffee filters. I want to see percolators. I want to see coffee. I want to see things that are in that category that are not the exact same thing plus 100. Now, look here, guys. This is number 82, and this guy's got 95 reviews. There are so many people. 85, 85, 50. This is on 184 reviews, and he's number 86. Let's look at his BSR. His BSR BSR. He's 24,000 in kitchen and dining, but he's 86 in home and kitchen because he's listed twice. So he's number 80 in coffee presses, and he's selling that much. So again, the first time you don't want to get into products that are too much. Let's talk about too little. Now, it took me a second just to find this. So I went way back in and I looked at disposable decorating bags. So disposable decorating bags. First of all, one of the problem is, and I'll talk about that in a second, they don't meet the price criteria, which is this is $9. This is $6.17 now, and this is for a 50 count. So you have to sell a 100 count to get it above my number, which I'd like you to be at your sales price over 10 and be making at least $5 to $6, minimum of $5. If you're doing less than that, then all of a sudden you're doing retail arbitrage. You know, so look here. We go down this page, and we're already at stuff that isn't what it is. There's a kit, Hello Kitty. So bags, you know, and then I'll bet you. So now here's something that we always look for. I've talked about this in the past. If you have ads sponsored out, I mean someone's selling. I mean, this guy's trying to sell his ads. It may even be the same guy. No, it is probably the same guy. So we get on the back page, and already. So you see how these, when you roll down, so there's only 3 pages. I think I looked earlier, and I don't think that this, and I did a little bit of calculation and research on it. I don't think in this entire category was there $5,000 worth of this product being sold in the whole category. So too little competition. So I'm going to say if there's not 4 pages of stuff, and by the time you get to 5, I mean 4 pages, you want to start seeing random stuff that, you know, you want to see stuff like this that is not cupcake or icing, and that, you know, so it means, so you want to get into something that's a little different. Oh, Charlotte asks, what is BSR? That's the best sellers rank. So Charlotte, what happens is when you sell a product for a certain period of time, when you go on there, Amazon calculates by the hour at what level you're selling. And as you sell more and more, they start doing an average over a certain period of time. Now, if you have a big day and you sell a bunch, your BSR can go up. But to keep you in a certain category, that's what they do with the consistent sales. And they can be able to track you, and they kind of have that in their head and their calculation a little bit, so that you're not having wild fluctuations. If all of a sudden one day you're this or you're that, they know that the last 7 days you sold so many, so they're not going to drop you off the sky if you do that. So any other questions? Any other questions? Steve says, you're not too late. You can always get a replay, and I got a bunch of fun stuff still to tell you. So anything else? Anything else? Hello? Anything else? I'll wait for a second because I know it takes a second to catch up. So let's actually look at my document. This over here. All right. So this is the products to avoid. So, and all of you, I will put up a link here in a minute of where you can get this. It may take me a second to get it. I don't know why I didn't pull that out of my links, but so the products to avoid. There's 200 million products, guys. 200 million. I think there's more than that now. Not different kinds, but different products that are listed. So we talked about these already. We talked about categories to avoid. We talked about that. And again, you're eliminating the most risky products and categories. That's that. So here's some other things. We talked about packaging and higher shipping a little bit, but also if you've got multiple boxes. So if your product's 3 boxes, first of all, what happens when your product doesn't show up? You know what I'm saying? Like, so you send 3 of them, 1 doesn't show up. Well, all of a sudden you've got a bad review, and we want to avoid bad reviews at all costs. So multiple boxes, multiple places, they can be picked wrong. It's just more complicated. You want to keep this simple again. You're paying twice as much, for shipping, unless they're putting them in the same box, which most of the time they do. But multiple boxes inside your box is not good. There's an opportunity for one or them not to be picked right, and that just gives you higher possibility that you get a return. And as we know, we don't want to do that. We missed a lot, Tony. All right, hold on. I'm going back to Maria. So how do you source products based on how many reviews? I was confused on this as far as staying below the 100 competition. Not sure how to find this. I do not understand too well. All right, Maria, I was just saying, looking at the reviews, and one of the things you can multiply, if you see the number of reviews, you can multiply that times 95. So if it's sold, if it has 100 reviews, that means it's probably, unless they're doing what we're going to do is by working and getting more reviews and doing promotion, which is not, it's happening a lot, but you can typically say that 90, if the product's been selling and you see some reviews, you can kind of get some numbers that, hey, they've sold this many numbers over time. Now they're also, did I lose everybody? Somebody says it's not working. Hello? Oh, your screen's frozen. Let me fix that. Hey, does everybody see me? Everybody see me? All right, let's screen share again. How about that? Are we back up? You gotta love technical stuff. If you're still frozen, it takes a second for you guys to catch up. You're a couple seconds delayed. All right. Hello. It looks like I got good audio. We missed the last 10 minutes. All right. Well, let me go back up. I'll go back a couple of minutes. I know it was recording. Sorry we're having technical difficulties tonight. But basically, I just, again, went over the product categories to avoid. We talked about that earlier. Collectible books. So first thing is, I'm going to write this down as we go. We want to avoid products that has unnecessary risk. We want to simplify this process as much as we can so that we can not get products that you have to do more things for. We want to find a simple product that is under 1 pound in a box that's 8 by 8, the ideal size product under my strategy. Again, my strategy may not be the best strategy for you, but if you've not done anything, I try to go with a very conservative way in which we can avoid things. So I went back and we talked about packaging a little bit earlier, but let's talk about multiple boxes. There's extra shipping charges to them. Then there's storage fees. There's storage fees that go in that can cost you more at Amazon. And Amazon's, by the way, you're going to have to maintain your inventory better because inventory, I think, is every 6 months. They just changed where they're going to go. We made sure to go to GoWebinar. By the way, GoToWebinar, I think I don't know how expensive that is, Tony. Some of these are, guys, we are talking all over the world, and we do have internet, and so internet sometimes doesn't do as well. It may be slower on your end. You may want to try closing any other programs that you may have open, and it could be on my end. I don't know. It seemed to stay up for some people and not. Fragile products. Guys, don't put yourself in a position where you're going to get glass products. If it breaks, don't buy it on your first deal. You shouldn't be looking at anything fragile. I don't look at it almost exclusively. I don't want stuff that can break. I don't want liquids. Reason you don't want liquids are, what if they break and they leak everywhere and you ruin all of your products? What's the minimum amount of profit I would get to, Nicole? I want to see at least $5. If you're not making $5, and that's $5, all your shipping, every single thing, once you get cleared and your FBA fees, all of it, you need to walk away with $5 or you don't have a product that is, that you should be selling, unless it's, because then you think you got to sell, to make $1,000, you got to sell 200 products. Well, that's 10 a day. I don't know if you can get out and sell 10 a day on a lot of products right out of the gate. For sure, it's hard. So, you know, I would like you to see you making $7, $8, $10. And I got a product right now that I'm getting shipped to my door for 75 cents. So if it's 75 cents and it sells and retails for $11.95, and what I've done is I've took and made a bundle out of it, and I put 3 of them, which brings me up to $19.95. So 3 in a bundle at $19.95. Look at how that one comes up, guys. That's $19.95. I've got $2, or you know, I've got 75 cents, so $2.25 in the cost, and then another $2, I would think. I'm just throwing that 15% off of there. 15 is 10. So another, let's even call it $2. Call it $5, which it's not that high. $5 minus 19, that's a $14.95 spread. That's crazy. You can make $14 on it, and if you're just getting it this way with $11.95 product, I'm still making almost $8 or $9. Okay, now let me tell you this. I've already looked at this. You can right now go take this product and buy it on AliExpress, and you can get it shipped to your door for $1.15. $1.15. You can have that product at your door right now, and you can sell it for $11.95. So people tell me all the time they can't find products on AliExpress. I'm telling you, they're out there. You just got to spend some time. And the competition was perfect. I love this product. So when I got into it and putting it together, I think it's a fabulous product. I'm making, you know, on a 3, I'm making $15 on a product that cost delivered to my door under $3. And you could have it delivered to your door at $3.45. So if you're out there and you're going to start your first product, I suggest using AliExpress. Now, it's owned by Alibaba, but when you buy on AliExpress, you're able to go in and you can pick a product, and when you instantaneously know, you don't have to negotiate shipping, you don't have to negotiate everything. You could go on and look at this product, and you could say, I want 1 of them. They'll ship 1 to your house, and it tells you the price of what the 1 is. So it's not like you have to go figure out how much 1 is. You know what 1 costs. So you can order a sample. You can order 10 samples at a time. You can order 25. And what I suggest is that you get a product like that, because if you're in the right number and you're trying to sell and you're making a $5 profit, that means you can find a $1 or $2, $3, $4 product that you get shipped here that's small, and you buy 100 pieces of it. So you have 100. And the great thing about AliExpress is they're going to always ship it by air. And there's probably some things I've never seen it, but I'm sure there's things on there that they don't ship by air. But I don't think so, because it would be hard to quote it. So you're going to get the product. Usually you can get a product from there between 5 and 7 days, at max 10. And if it's the worst thing on earth, it's going to be 15 days. So that means that product can get to you. And here's the magic, guys. There's 0 risk in the money. 0. They have 100% trade assurance, because they're the ones that process the credit card. The credit card is not processed by the person in China selling it. So if it's not processed by them, if the thing shows up at your door, you're 100% covered. 100%. Like, you don't like the product, you can ship it back. You don't like the way it looks, feels, whatever, you can send that product back. It's kind of like Amazon, but because these products are all made there, they're cheaper. And you know, you're going to have to search a little bit. But what I'm telling you right now, why get yourself into something that you have a bunch of risk in, especially if you're under $5,000. If you're under $5,000 invest in your business, I think it's crazy to try to get products out of China right now before you do it. And once you get your product in and it starts selling, then go spend the time to source the product. You know you've got something that wins. You've only spent $500, $600 on getting your product on Amazon. So that means, and then you've got $300 or $400 to spend on pay-per-click and promoting your product, doing some giveaways, getting some reviews. And so with $1,000, if you do this right, you can 100% guarantee that you're not going to lose your money or be scammed or anything. And then you can get yourself into a place where you're not risking everything. And that's the problem I see over and over and over. So quit messing with China and Alibaba unless you know for sure you have a supplier that's been vetted. So here's my number, $10 to $25. That's what I want you selling stuff for. If you're at $10, your product needs to be under $2 to maybe $3. But I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of products that are selling that you can buy for $2-3 that are selling for $14.95 and $16.95. I talked with somebody today, and their product cost to get it shipped here is $10, and they can get their product white labeled for $10, shipped here at 100 at a time. 100 at a time, shipped to their door with almost 100% no problem getting it, and not problem having your money be all risked and up for grabs. And the product costs $10, and they can sell it for $35, $30, $29.95. Guys, that's a huge, I mean, if you can start making $20 every single time you sell a product, imagine that, $20 every time you sell a product. You sell 5 products a day, you're making 100. That means you're making $3,000 a month profit. And then you add, and what you do is you add your next product then. Then you go to your next product. I want you to be making $1,000 a month. You should be focused on that one product until you get it to make $1,000 on any given month. As soon as you do that, so that means you're going to have to sell at least $2,500 to $3,000 a month of your product to be able to make it make sense before you quit focusing on it. Now, at some point, you can say, I'm going to run out of inventory, but you should be ready when you're selling 1,000 to buy a lot bigger inventory, and you'll know that pretty quickly, and then you can start looking for other sources for it. But you should focus your time 100% on that product so you're not scanning and shooting bullets all over the place. Michelle asks, when you order an AliExpress, does it take way longer? No, it's quicker, Michelle. It's much quicker because they ship it by air. It's a sample will be at your house 5 to 7 days, just like it would if they ship it from Alibaba. But you can you don't even have to contact them. You literally can go on their site, fill out just like you're buying something on Amazon, and it tells you the guaranteed delivery date. If they don't deliver it by then, you don't pay for it. So yes, you get on there, you can order 3 of them, and only 3 of them. They don't have a choice. They'd have it listed on there. You can buy 2, 3, 100, whatever number you want. When I first did my sample on the Beauty Line product, you could get 100 of them. So I started out with 100. I gave away half of them. So that's the plan. You should give away part of them, get them for sale, do a sample, see if they sell. If they don't, you don't have any inventory. You probably made your money back. So worst case scenario, you've got these products, they're not selling, but you know you have the right price, you did everything. If you got to burn them out, drop the price down to about what you got in it and liquidate the merchandise and go back and try another sample product. I really would like you to be under 10,000 in your parent category. So that means if you're in kitchen and dining, I'd like it to be under 10,000. Now, if you're miraculously able to get a product that sells on AliExpress that's between $750 and $2,500, man, I don't even care if I ever, because if I got that product, it's moving, and I've used all the other parameters to get to it. You all of a sudden now you're making big money on a first product, and there's definitely that possibility. When I get to the listing, you don't want to have more than 3 power sellers on that listing. What that means is that 3 people are selling lots of product. Now, if you haven't learned how to do that, there's several pieces of software out there. I'm not going to go into it again tonight, but there are some products out there that you can kind of track sales. Azon Shark, Rank Tracer, TerraPeak. At the end of the day, these aren't accurate, but they're a great way to get some ideas that you can, here's the number it's doing. But that's not your, if you have 10 different things, there are 20 different things like that we're evaluating before we make a choice. We have just drilled this thing down by the time you use all my suggestions and all my strategy, that you're going to be able to get yourself in a position where you're going to know that it has approximate amount of sales. Most of these tools underestimate, because I know people selling a product that has, a BSR of, 6,500, and they're telling me what they're selling, and none of these people have it right. I would say most of them are underscoring or under the value, which to me is good. So if you use some of these products, Jungle Scout, Amazon. Now, Jungle Scout, I'm still up in the air. I love the Jungle Scout for the fact that I can instantaneously look at some estimate of sales. And if I can look at an estimate and I see that everybody is making some money, it's not going to be like it says 1,000 and they're doing $200. It's a big guess, but it's a guess that has some education in the guess. It's a hypothesis of the actual number. So power sellers, you want to then go in and check and see how many people are selling that product. So you want to avoid that category, if you have 100 plus people in it and there's like 6 people that are selling tons and tons of products, or 8 or 10 people, you want to be able to get on that front page eventually. And if the top 40 of them all are selling crazy amounts of money, then it's going to be harder to get you in there your first time, because if you don't have a lot of marketing money to be able to make your way up, man, I will invest, to me, up front, I will put 100% back in that product. I will sell it, turn around, do it again for the first 60 days while I'm launching. And then I'm doing product giveaways every week for the first 60 days. I'm going to continue to promote that product. I'm going to continue to do promotions on it. I'm going to do everything I can to get that organic number, because the more money you spend and the more traffic you get just because you're selling from doing pay-per-click advertising, the faster you're going to move up. Now, that's not ideal for everybody, but you can still move up, but you just have to have a good strategy. And I hope my strategy will be able to help some of you. If you go into a product category and you're going to avoid it because there's a bunch of people with big brand name competitors all over the place. So there's a bunch of people that have brand names and they're dominating the first page. How are you ever going to compete with General Mills? Or how are you ever going to compete with Bissell? How are you going to compete with, the 40 lines if you're going to get in a vacuum cleaner business, or even bags or belts? I mean, first of all, you only can sell to one kind of person. I don't like that. But if you're competing with name brand stuff, it's very, very hard. So if you don't want to see name brand stuff all over the place. Now, when I say, I didn't catch this a little bit, when I say power sellers, that means they're selling a lot of product, they have lots of reviews, and they've been selling it for a while. So you're going to want to get over and look at Camel, and it'll give you a range of, the amount of product sales over a time, and it's BSR over, the last 6 months to a year. So you can look at that. So also, I think you should have a little bit of a niche to it. So you should get products that are not sold at big box stores all of the time. You know what I mean? If you can find something that isn't featured in a big stop, it's ideal. That doesn't mean you can't sell something. We're just looking for as many. Now, you don't have to use every single one of these parameters, but if you can, man, you're getting much closer to what I call a product champion. And all of these things in here doesn't mean you have to be right on it. It just means let's get a majority of them. Let's get 7 out of 10 of these things in our product, so that we know that, hey, listen, it's matching all these things. This one may not be as a big a deal, so I can do it because these other things are actually working. Now, we talked about some of the things I think are evolving. And this is one of those things, when I was exclusively product-oriented, which I've talked about tonight, I'm not as worried about, except for lots of name brands, except for a page that's too competitive. Outside of that, if I can find a product that's competitive, that has under 100 people, that has less than 4 pages, by the time I get to page 4 or 5, 40 or 50% of the products on there aren't even the product that I'm selling. If I see a lot of 1-star reviews on page 3, 4, and 5, and people aren't selling a bunch, and I know I can start out, there's no reason any one of you, you're not taking advantage of the fact that you should never, ever not be able to have 25 reviews in your first week. If you're not getting 25 reviews, you're not working very hard. And if you don't know how to do that, guess what? May the 5th, I'm going to do an entire webinar about nothing but how to get more reviews, and that's very important. So it'll be a complete webinar Tuesday, May the 5th. So this Amazon deal. So on the front page of Amazon, when you search your product, there's only 24 items. So to me, and Amazon's not always ranked #1. And I have made a call. I think Amazon and their culture and what they are legitimate business people, which means they might buy products, but they're not going to do any extraordinary things to be able to take you out of the possibility you can sell your product, because it would basically be making bad things happen to 40% of what they sell comes from people like us. So if Amazon is all of a sudden putting their product up and they're ranked #5, and from my opinion, Amazon doesn't usually have the greatest listings. Their listings sometimes have one product on them. They just are selling a whole bunch of them, and it doesn't matter. So if you can come in and get multiple pictures and show multiple uses, there's a product that I looked at and I talked about it in another webinar, which were these, they were bento boxes, but they were like these plastic lid things that people could you'd put to-go stuff in, really. But I found some uses for them that I called them a meal prepper plan. So when you would maybe make meals for someone that is elderly and you make them 10 meals, you would use these and you could freeze them. Or you're on a diet, you could make your meals ahead of time and put them in there. So my deal is so if Amazon's on your page, there's a likelihood that there's not low competition, not really low competition, because why would Amazon own a product that has not good competition? So I don't care as much anymore if Amazon's selling a product. Now, would I rather be full of a bunch of people fulfilled by merchant? Yes. Are those out there? Man, they are so rare that if you ever get to what I call the magic product champion, you make a lot of money in your life, but they're just rare. It's like finding a big gold nugget, and there's enough little gold nuggets that you can get in without, before you have to make a decision. So Amazon on the front page, that means something's being sold. Their listing usually isn't that good, and there's still 23 other spots that you can get. Now, Amazon may lead you to a product that's too competitive just because, people are already there and found it. But so I'm not as concerned anymore. I'm not saying it's the most ideal thing, but man, I think it maybe gives you more inventory. And if somebody else has a different opinion, I can understand that, and maybe my evaluation of it isn't as much. So to me, if Amazon's on my page, there's only 23 other spots I can come take, and I don't care if Amazon's number 1. I'll be number 2, number 5, I'll be number 20, and I'll still make money, a lot of money, if I'm on the front page, unless you're in a category that no one's selling anything. And that's why if you're going to sell pipe bags for decorating cakes, I don't know that there's going to be enough sales if you're number 1 to make any money. I think the top guy, when I looked earlier, if I estimated, I think he was making like $1,500 a month. And by the time you got to like number 10, they're making $400, and that's sales, that's not profit. So let me go into the next one. And we talked about when I talked about what I was going to talk about, we talk about higher returns and product failures. Products that have power cords and batteries or lots of moving parts or pieces will have some failure rate or return. So if you're getting electrical products, there's some likelihood that they could break and the product not work. What if you get a product shipped from China, and that product shipped from China, and when it gets here, it doesn't work? There's some kind of manufacturer problem in it, and all of a sudden now your product doesn't work. That could be disastrous to you when you're first starting out. You can't handle that until you're at product number 5, and you could take a hit of $1,000 or $1,500. If you get a hit and you lose $1,500 because your electrical thing didn't work, then that doesn't mean you can't later on get into an electrical product. Some of you I know are out there selling an electrical product, but ideally, I'm saying don't get yourself into electric products. Don't get yourself into battery operated products. Don't get products that you got to put a battery in, because again, it's got electronic parts in it. Electronic parts fail, and you can't afford to have a box of badly made products. If the product has lots of moving parts and pieces, if you got to put it together and put a bunch of pieces, there's some likely that there's a lady in Minnesota who can't put together your product. So I suggest you want a product to be able to come out of a box and a 10-year-old or an 8-year-old can start using it. That the product and the way you use it's intuitive. That you know when it shows up out of the box that it is a product that anybody could figure out. Now, do you have to have a product like that? I say this for the 3rd or 4th time, no. But if you want to increase your odds, you want to avoid these types of products. You want to avoid products that will be returned, or people can't put them together. Or what if parts and pieces of your product show up and they're missing? Well, now all of a sudden you got return, and then you got failures, and you got bad reviews. So electrical products, battery operated products, products with a lot of moving parts, difficult products for operation, happy customers and returns, and replacement parts. Now we talked about that. Again, if you're purchasing a product that's not made by the manufacturer, how many people have bought a product, got it home, and all of a sudden it doesn't fit the way that they say it should? So those, 5 things there? There are 5 things there that have higher returns. And higher returns and product failures means no, 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 no. All right, I'm going to look at the questions here again. I'm counting FBA fees. So when Becky, when you asked that question, she asked, are you counting for FBA fees? Buy at $10, sell at $30. Amazon keeps 10, sends you 20, but 10 was the cost of the goods, so the profit's not $10 or $20. Listen, again, my number is 5, at least 5. I'd love you to be around 7 or 8 on your product. And but you always want to have the thought process that later on that you're going to be able to get that product for less. Why do you got to hit a grand slam the first time? Remember, our first product or second product and even third product, my strategy is don't try to find a product that does, so you can be in a lower competition area, but you can still make $3,000 a month in sales and make $1,000. Ideally, if you can get it at 30% and then later on, you can turn that 30 into 40% because you've been able to source being able to source it cheaper, then that's great. So Adam says, on Alibaba, can you remove the companies that have not paid on-site check? I think you can search them out. So I think you can, Adam. I think you can search those out. And then we did the accounting. Should I stay away from this on AliExpress? Items without retail box package. Listen, there are some items. A cell phone case cover doesn't matter. You can put it in the all you RA guys know those plastic bags that seal all of them themselves, and you got to put the sticker on them that says that someone could suffocate in them. I don't know why on earth we haven't figured out they stick your head in a plastic bag that you might die, but you still have to do that. So yes, you can go to AliExpress and you can get products and just put them in there because no one cares what the package is. Like if you have a cell phone company, you rip it out and you're done. So yes, you can do that. Should I avoid 15 to 40 day shipping from AliExpress? No, Tony, you don't have to avoid that. I mean, that may be coming over on a boat. I don't know why it would take 50. They may have to make the product. Ideally, no, but yes, you can wait 15 to 40 days. They'll usually, if you look at their charts, they'll tell you when about 60% or 70%. There's actually a chart on there that shows when their products are arriving, and so they're not just it may be 18 days. So yes, you can, Tony, you can get a product, but I don't see many products on there that would take more than 40 days. And it would usually it's 7 to 15. I get products all the time in 5 days from DHL, and some of that time is whether your person that you're buying from is just putting them in a box and shipping it. So there's a question about a product without a box. So what I did was I went out and I designed a package, and in that package, I was in my beauty line right now. It came like that. But what I did was I went out and got a box. It cost me about 50 cents a piece, 60 cents a piece. And I had those boxes printed, and I took the product from one manufacturer and I put it in the box. So now all of a sudden I got a box, I put my own logo on, I print them, and then you then can ship them that way. So now you've got a product that you put your sticker on, that you put in a box. The box gives you that feeling of white label because it is technically. So even from getting them from AliExpress, you can white label these products. You just have to be a little bit more creative. Yes, Tony, there are definitely products that take 15 to 40 days, but that's okay. We don't want to spend 45 to 60 days sometimes on a boat, and we don't have to worry about how we got to deal with getting it here. When you buy an AliExpress, you're going to put in your home address. It's going to show up. There's a likelihood that most of those people are also going to ship them as a gift, and you're also going to be under that $2,500 threshold from customs. So 9 out of 10 times it'll just pass through customs and you don't have to pay anything on it. Yes, Nicola, you can make your own brand on AliExpress. The product I spoke with somebody this afternoon, they for 100 were able to get their name stitched on the deal. So getting stuff stitched or screen printed, a lot of times you can get done to white label a product from AliExpress. Now listen, there's tons and tons of people buying stuff from Alibaba, and they're being successful and they're doing it. My suggestion just is that you want to get started with the least amount of possibility that you can fail. Don't let somebody take your money. You can do this without risking all your money. You can do this without having to worry about, oh my God, I got to figure out shipping. I got to figure out how to put it on a boat. I got to figure out how to pick it up at the thing. I got to figure out how it's shipped. And you got to get a freight forward. And you have to do all these things to be able to get your product here. And you still got 800 or 80,000 other things that are going to get in your way. So let's eliminate as many items as we can off the list that I don't have to learn day one, and get me a product and get me selling. I'm telling you right now, maybe we'll get a group, a small group, and I won't do everything for you, but I'll assist, and we'll get a small group of those of you that may be interested. You private message me, and if you want to get your product and you've got at least $1,000 to $1,500, we'll go through with 10 of you, and I will assist. I can't be in there all the time, but I will give you some direction, and you 10, I'll guarantee you I can get you a product up and selling in 30 days if we do it the way that I'm talking about. So all of you guys out there, what am I going to do? I'll take someone who's never had a product ever in the world, and I'm going to do that with Mindy, but I'm going to try to spend the first 30 days making $1,000 to just be interesting. So the Mindy Project will start out with 100, but if I could convince Mindy to put up $1,000 of her own money, I think I need to let her see how much some of these products are selling that you can actually turn money on it. So let's see what else. Adam says, I know I was making a comment earlier. I use Alibaba over AliExpress because of the price. I have done many products. Adam, I 100% agree that you can find cheaper products on Alibaba. My point is hey, Adam, how many products do you have selling? It says that you have done many products. Adam, yes, you've done many products. So that means you figured out the system. If I just showed up to the party and I've not done lots of products, then guess what happens? I have to learn a whole other process. I have to find a supplier. And if I lose my money and I make a big mistake, I talked to someone the other day, they got their product, they got their sample in, and their samples all came in, they got 100 products, and they were, I think they were like 3D glasses. And when they got their 3D glasses, none of them worked, and none of them were there, and she lost every single bit of it. She's arguing with PayPal to get her money back, and I think she ultimately did. But so 10 people who got $1,000 to $1,500. Again, I'm not going to coach you exclusively because that will take away from my other clients that are paying. I can't give you the same exact information, but I will give you a basic strategy, tell you where to go, and tell you what to do. But I'm not going to hold your hand. I'm not going to be able to talk to you individually. I'll probably only be able to talk to you in the Facebook place. I'm not going to be able to. I might do one webinar with you guys or two just as a question or answer, but I love that idea because I want to see, it would be great to see 10 people do, but you gotta, yeah, I want you to pick your own product, but I want you to be able to kind of follow my strategy to be able to show people that you can start out with a small amount and actually get your PL product listed and get it up in 30 days. I'm telling you, you can get yourself up in 30 days with $1,000 to $1,500. It is not a unachievable goal. All right, any other questions? I can tell you this, you could get up in the same period of time from Alibaba. Yes, you could. There's no reason that you couldn't. So listen, I don't have a problem with you going and getting supplies from Alibaba. It's done every single day, and those people are making money. The only reason that I like AliExpress, and I actually have a wholesale company as well here in America that you can pick products from. They got bunches and bunches of them, and you could do that. But AliExpress, you can know what your product costs. You have 100% guarantee you're not going to lose your money the first time. Now, if you only have $1,500, how many mistakes can you make? You can't afford to make a bunch. You gotta pick a product and maybe two products. You may get your first $300 or $400 sample in, and you sell them and you don't do real well, and you may not have to go. So now you still got another $600, $700 to $1,000 left to be able to pick another product. So you could screw it up once or twice and not be out of business. And the idea is not to start this thing and be out of business. I mean, that's the idea. That's why we're here, is to not be out of business. I'm going to stop sharing this, and you guys can see my pretty face again. Hey, I'm back. Did I get better looking while you were gone? I think I did. I get better looking every day, I think. I don't know about that, but maybe my girlfriend, who's a little bit, she's a little bit jaded on that. All right, let me look here around here. Let me find you guys. There it is. So, to review, I'm already on that deal, Mark says. Sent a PM already, thanks. So some of you guys are ready. I'm up for the group. Cool. The freight costs much more from Alibaba than AliExpress, and the overall cost might be cheaper buying from AliExpress for smaller quantity. MOQ and Alibaba is very hard. Leon, that is absolutely right. Yes, it costs more money a lot of times because the shipping is. The shipping is 100% figured in on AliExpress. You know, you don't got to think about it. You don't got to argue. How much is the shipping? Are you going to send me the shipping? Well, the shipping's, hey guys, you can get a sample from AliExpress, and I almost said it. I don't give a crap when I said the other word, but you can get a shipment from China with one product. How many of you guys put it in the deal? How many of you guys have got a $50 or $100 sample, and that's just one? So if you want to see 4 samples of 4 different companies' products, you're right now at a minimum of 200. You might be at 3 or 350 in getting samples. I can start you out on AliExpress and get you an account up for the same money. So why are you going to Alibaba and doing this? It just seems to me counterintuitive that people are just starting. So again, I know I get kind of fired up about this, but I get fired up about it because I keep watching people lose all their money. You end your whole career. So don't do that to yourself. Figure out how to get the product 100% guaranteed. Figure out how to get a product that you don't have to worry about the shipping. Figure a product that, you know, have a lot of those parameters that we talked about. Let's find a product that's selling in the top 10,000. You may have to reverse engineer this a little bit, but if you find a product that you like, go to Ally and look for it. If it's not there, I'm not saying don't go over to Alibaba, and you can find somebody that will ship 100, and you can find them all the time on AliExpress. They're not going to be a manufacturer, I'll guarantee it. They're going to be somebody that's an agent or somebody that actually even has their own store and is shipping them wholesale. But the problem is you have to guess how much it is. And so what they're doing is they're marking up the shipping $50 and telling you what it is. Now you can go out and search shipping again, but now what you've done is you've added another layer. Quit adding layers to this. Quit looking ahead 20 steps. Don't care about what your listing looks like until you got a dang product. So when the product comes, then start working on your listing. Start working on the launch. Start doing that. But you don't need to know how to launch until you buy a product, because there's going to be 15 to 30 days. And during that 15 to 30 days, I'm telling you, you can do it in 5 to 10 realistically. But if you're working on that, then when you get there, don't start trying to do everything. Get one thing done at a time. Set your business up, then go order your product, get that product here with no problems with shipping, no problems with your money being risked, and start selling. Isn't that why we're all here? Quit trying to come up with excuses. Quit being scared. I just eliminated a bunch of the problems. You can get involved in this for $500, $600. You can do that. You can get yourself in for $200 because you can buy a sample and put it up and see what's happening. So all this nonsense about taking forever and ever and ever and putting stuff on a boat, if you want to quit making excuses, I'm telling you, you can be up and on sale on Amazon for $1,000 to $1,500 and probably as little as $500 if you'll just be smart about it a little bit. All right. By the way, guys, I'm going to start wrapping this up. I try to get it done in 2 hours, and I'll stay around if you want to stay around and talk. Everybody's going to make mistakes, guys. The important thing is that you learn from them, that you avoid the mistakes that other sellers before you are already making. So if you got a seller who knows what they're going on, don't take my word for it. There are people out there going to disagree with me more than anything. But you can't argue with me on the logic. You just can't. You can't argue with me on the logic that, yes, if you can find a product that still makes 30% what you get here, tell me why you're going to make all these other risks. I know I get fired up about this, and I get fired up about people with LLCs. I'm not a big fan of you starting out getting 300 pieces or 100 pieces from China and going and starting a whole business in an LLC when there's no reason, because you're just sampling. Let's sample your life in the business world before you go drop yourself into spending $1,000 or $1,500 to even get your business. So if you want to get your business, spend $500 to $1,000, $1,500, you can absolutely get started in this business in the next 35 to 40 days. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, but let's not make the biggest mistake of all, which is choosing the wrong product. Choosing the wrong product will put you in a position where you can't do this again. Don't get your money taken. Don't get a bad product. Great sample, bad product. So look how many things we've eliminated by my strategy to start out with AliExpress. And I mean, I'll bet you that thing's I probably sound like George Bush saying, what, you know, says the wrong pronunciation of stuff, but it may be AliExpress. I may be saying Ally, but anyway, whatever it is, it's ALI Express. So search that up. And if you think I'm wrong, hey man, listen, that's everybody's opinion. I'm just trying to get people up and selling. Next Sunday night, when I do my little jam session, we're going to look for products. As a matter of fact, I don't care if we look for products on AliExpress, look for products on Amazon, but I will spend 2 hours with you next Sunday. I'm not going to prepare anything. I'm not going to do it. I spent a lot of time on even putting this together today. So, I probably got 4 hours just making sure I've got the right information and I can show you this stuff. So every Sunday night, I'll spend 2 hours with anybody that wants to show up. Hey, how about this? How about this? I got it. Those of you, and I'll help everybody, on Sunday nights, and I'm doing this off the cuff of my hand. If you show up on Sunday nights, I'm going to walk you through getting your product up. Instead of doing, and I know some of you guys want to be in a smaller group. We've got about 50 people here. I'm not going to advertise Sundays anymore. I'm not going to mess with that. I'm sorry, guys. So every Sunday night, we're going to start the project. And the project is how to get your business open in 45 days every Sunday night. We're going to step by step every Sunday night, because I was trying to figure out what to do there. And that to me sounds like a great thing. So if you're interested in getting your product up and going, I'm not going to allow people in that group. So I'm not going to allow you to come to the webinar anymore. If you show up on Sunday and you're not ready to get a group, you can pay attention. I want people on Sundays. I'm saying you need to be making a decision in the next 30 days to get a product. I want it to be, you know what, I'm not going to include anybody. If you want to come and watch, that's great. I'm thinking off the cuff as we're doing this, so I apologize that I'm kind of brainstorming in front of you. But Sunday nights, we're going to do nothing but try to find products on AliExpress. We're going to use, if you guys don't have the AmaSuite software, guys, you can get set up in AmaSuite. You can get set up for it for $37. It's the greatest tool I've ever found to be able to search for products. And it's beautiful. So if you're not doing that, then you're missing out on the boat for $37. Now, a lot of you paid $197 and they bought it permanently. You're going to get to use it, I think, for 30 days or 45 days for $40. And you can cancel it, but then they're going to charge you whatever. So I just put I'm putting up the, if you don't have AmaSuite and you don't have the top 100 analyzer, it allows you to search through 10,000 products in a day as opposed to searching for maybe 20 a day. So it's a great product. It's $37. If you're not buying it, it seems, if you don't have $37 to put in your business, then you need to be going out and doing, you need to be going out and doing RA, because you're not ready. But $37 to be able to get a product that you can use and lightning fast, you can find a product. If you take the top 100 generator or analyzer and add in the 3 forms that I get you, which is the product champion, and if you'll stay on the pages, I am now posting that on there of how you can get those downloads. And so you can get my my documents, and those documents can absolutely be used without the top 100 analyzer. I can just skip through a lot of those steps with the top 100 and filter out products that I'm not going to use or not going to do. So take a look at it. It's $37 or $39 to get you started for 45 days. Go spend the money, guys. It's $40. If you're not willing to spend $40 to get a tool that works great, then you're probably doing the wrong thing. You need to go back and find another business. You need to continue to RA. So top 100 analyzer, yes, top 100 analyzer. I want to call it project generator. The software guy who wrote that had another product. Next, so I want to talk real quick about the Magic 3. If you're not doing the Magic 3 are this. You literally need to make a set of directions, and those set of directions, so if you were giving your mother or your grandmother directions how to get to your house and there were multiple turns, you would describe that trip. I want you to go down here and I want you to take a right. I want you at the Burger King to take a left and 3 lights down. You would write that plan out. So all a Magic 3 is a to-do list of only 3 things and how long you're going to take to do it. I don't want you to do any more than a week. I'd like you to keep that thing under a week. If you got a lot of easy things, you can do it in one day. Then what you do is you start over and you make directions again. And directions are, I'm looking for a product. Directions are, I'm going to spend this many hours looking for a product and I'm going to make a choice on a product. You guys spending months and analyze and do whatever, pick a product and do it. Just find the right parameters and make it happen. Get off the fence and quit being scared. I just told you how you can start this whole business for $500 to $1,000. So you can keep trying to learn. Just learn one step at a time, and that's what the Magic 3 do. In our Gorillaz Mastermind groups, we make people put up their Magic 3. So you're accountable to a group of people. Now I'm going to tell you one of the magic things that we're not doing yet that I plan on doing. Our Gorillaz Mastermind groups, if you're not in our Gorillaz Mastermind groups, I'm creating groups under 250 people, and those 250 people can then work with each other. I look through the people in the groups, and I have some either visual or I know their name and I've talked to them. I make comments. I'm on there every single day. Sometimes I'm on those for, a couple hours a day. I'm always trying to make a comment almost every single thing that goes on. We had over 1,500 comments and likes last week between the two groups. I filled up the first Amazon Gorillaz Mastermind 1. I filled it up in 2 weeks. We're already almost halfway with Mastermind 2. Now, I'm going to make them all small, but you can't be in 3 groups. You only can be in 1 group. As long as I can continue to build groups of 250, then it's intimate. You have accountability to a group of people. It's like going to a workplace. It's like you're sharing a workplace with a bunch of people who have things in common. You can share and help. But if you're in a group of 2,000, like on Alibaba to Amazon, my other group, it's over 2,500 now. But if you're in that large of a group, you're so lost that no one even cares who you are, and they don't know who you are. There's 2,000 other people that aren't even on the site. So get yourself in one of these Gorilla Mastermind groups that I have. You need to private message me. If you are in, I've got 100 spaces, I think, left in Gorillaz 2. And as soon as I get it to a level where it has the 250, I make it secret, so you can't even search up Mastermind 1. Mastermind 2 is out there, and we have 100 spaces. If you get in, the most important thing I need you to do is I need for you to read the first post, because it'll tell you about the Magic 3. It'll tell you what you're obligated to do if you're in this group. And if you're not doing what we obligate you to, then last week I kicked out 10 people. I didn't kick them out. I just mean that I ignored them, and they had to go out and wait. And if they can come back to me and tell me they're going to play by the rules, because it's very important everybody's on the same page. You can't just go there and hang out and not be a part of the group. If you're not part of the group, then I don't want you in the group. So there's some exclusivity to it, but it's for a purpose. Not like I'm trying to keep people out. You can get into a group. You just got to be in one of my small groups. The church that I go to has, I don't know, like 6,000 members. Do you think I know 20 of them? You know what I mean? So I go in there and it's anonymous. But what they do is they encourage, and this is kind of where my idea comes, they encourage these small groups, or 10 to 12 people that all work together. So the 250, because we're dealing with, a crazy amount of people, but there's absolute accountability there. I go through, if I see your Magic 3 and they're not right, I'll go in and tell you, hey, you need to be more specific or whatever. So if any of you guys are in that, I definitely suggest you try to sign up for that. You can Facebook friend me at Rob Fortney Jr., and you can get on that and Facebook me. I'd love to be your friend. I don't turn anybody down. If you're in this business, you can definitely be my friend. So what we also do in there is we share strategies, we share resources and ideas for finding and selling products. There's threads in there that have 40 comments in them. 40. Where else can you get 40 comments? And all of are positive. We don't let people in there trash people or trash talk. Everybody's welcome. I don't care if you've ever sold one thing. Now you have to make a commitment that you're going to do something. If you're not making a commitment to do something, then you probably can't be hanging around there too long. I push on people because I want you to get your product sorted. If you're still going to sit on the fence for the next 6 months, not for you yet. You're getting ahead of your curve. You need to keep doing RA, get you enough money. So here's one of the magic things that I'm going to be able to get you guys involved because of the small group. So imagine if you're in a small group and you put up your product to get reviewed, and there are other people in there who have products. If you do a product swap on a discount and you both pay $5.99, and I buy a product and you buy a product, and I do a product swap. I buy one, do a review of yours, and you buy one, do a review of mine. We each get $5.99, but guess what? We didn't really exchange any money there because I got $5.99, you got $5.99. We're going to lose the shipment fees, but still, it's not like you're both losing it, but you can even pay $10.99 a piece, and you're not going to lose this. You're still going to lose the $3 or $4. So there's a number in there that you can pick, but the regardless is They'll get your product, you'll get their product, and you've at least swapped out part of the money. And you then can review each other's products. So what a great way to do that. You're in these groups, start asking people to trade a review with you, or just put it up and ask the people in these smaller mastermind groups, say, here's my product, can you help me get some samples or do something like that? If you don't want to reveal your product, I understand. But you guys, you're thinking about a product that has 300 people in it, or 300 or 150 people competing in it. Listen, I would encourage you all not to be stealing each other's products. If you bring it in there, some of you might be selling the same product you don't even know. So that's what we got there. 250 members, just make sure you sign up. So on Sunday nights, we're going to look for, do nothing but get people who want to get their business started and are serious about it and are going to help me do it in the next, we'll say 60 days on Sunday. You got to be ready to do your product in the next 60 days. So no matter what, if you're interested, just private message me about that. Hey, if any of you guys haven't went to the Gorillaz fan page, go out there and like it. Make sure you stay tuned for my webinar. Check out the Top 100 Generator. I hope this has helped some of you get some clarity. I gave you some really great strategy tips. I gave you some ideas of products not to do. I'll stick around here for anybody else that wants to stick around and ask questions. I'll stay here for a while. Last week I kind of got cut off, but I'll spend another hour with you if you want to hang out and do this. So one more time, May the 5th, you'll see this out tonight. As soon as I get done tonight, I'm going to publish it. I'm going to put it out May the 5th, Tuesday night, how to get 100 reviews and skyrocket your BSR. So I'm going to sum up with this. There's never going to be a point in your life to do a great thing. Make that choice today and take action. I talk about it all the time. Start your business now. Quit waiting. That's why we're here. That's why you're watching these webinars. Quit watching webinars unless it's about getting your business started. Okay? Don't watch webinars about how to write other things unless you're coming to watch mine. But at the end of the day, the more information you keep getting, the more confused you're going to get, and the less likely you're going to be scared because you got too much information. Quit being scared. I've got a strategy. I talked about it tonight and how you can use it. You are perfect right now to start your business because you know what the next 3 or 4 steps are. You can write them down tomorrow and then write them down tomorrow. I don't want you to put your head up anymore. I want you to decide you're going to do it. I want you to put your head in, and what my cousin calls it and what I call it is plowing. Put your head down and plow your field and start dropping seeds. Until you start plowing and dropping seeds, nothing's going to happen in your life. So take action this week. I implore you, I beg you to take action and do something in your life. You can change your life absolutely. You can replace your income. You can have more money to spend time with your friends and your children. You can spend more time with your parents. At the end of the day, guys, we're here to have a great relationship with our family and people that we love. So this business can allow you that freedom to do it. Go out there and do it. I know you can do it, and I'll help every one of you as much as I can. Hey, thanks. Have a great week selling. I'm Rob Fortney, and I'm navigating you through the Amazon seller's jungle. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you Sunday night next week to get you guys started rolling. Thanks for hanging out. All right, I'm going to stick around and answer some questions. If any of you do, I'll go down. I will put up the link, Peter. I have everybody who's been here, I have an email, and I'm going to send that out. Some of you want to join the group. You should sell good on eBay too. Should you get the product or just one? Hey, by the way, if any of you guys have any feedback about the show tonight, I'd love to hear it. Did anybody get any useful information from it tonight? Because it's important. I spent a lot of time trying to produce this, and I hope that the information hasn't wasted your time. It says there's 51 of you still in here. I don't know how accurate that is. But hey, if you found something you like tonight and you can use in your business, just give me a heads up in the chat box. Oh, and I love it. I love it when people tell me thanks. It lets me know that it happened. If you got any questions, I'm still taking them. I plan to have this going by or before the summer, thanks. That's 30 days, my friend. Quitra? Any other question? Okay, thanks, Adam. So it's okay, for an example, if I were to straight up give my product to someone on a street and only give them it to exchange it for a product review. At the end of the day, Michelle, it's probably not, it's against the TOS. Guys, listen, I mean, Amazon might come in my back door and you know, put me in jail or take down my account. But if you give your neighbor, you can make unverified reviews. So you could give a product to your neighbor, ask them to make a review. Is the likelihood he's going to give you a bad review? No. Now, you can't go give away 100 of them because that's going to look suspicious. But I suggest you try to get 12 to 25 reviews in the first week or two. And that's absolutely possible if you do that. So you showed up, Jason. It will be, I believe, if you signed up, that it will go back. You go back, it will send you a replay link. If not, you can go to look up Amazon Gorillaz on YouTube, and it will be there. I think within an hour it shows up there. I found out on AliExpress just to pay $7 to get an item shipped under 15 days. There you go. I want to stay in Sunday night webinars. How do I get links for that? Everybody, if you've already signed up for one and you've been emailed, I've got 300 of you that have signed up, and actually I think it's more than that. So I'll get you, you'll get an invite to our Sundays. I'll make sure that everybody who's been here tonight will. But Sundays, we're going to start picking a product. We're going to pick a product and we're going to sell it, and we're going to do it with my strategy involved. If you don't want to do my strategy, I understand. If you want to do this and you want to get a product up in 45 days, I'm telling you, I can get you a product up in 45 days. There's no bull crap in that. See you next week, Sam. Thank you so much. Michelle, thank you. Jason, thank you. Blythe says, good information, good kick in the butt for motivation. That's what I want to do. I want to help you guys be motivated. Thanks. What I was trying to say to find out if it was against TOS, since it's not against TOS, to have each other review your products. Well, if you got people all over the country, how can you tell me who I can buy from, and how on God's earth would Amazon figure out that you and I are in a group on Facebook, we live 2,000 miles away, I buy your product and do it? Technically, how about this? You just tell everybody in the group, listen, give me a good review. If you don't like the product, we'll just assume, or I'll tell everybody, don't give people bad reviews. So if you're asking that question, listen, guys, Amazon's not going to figure out that you have people all over the country on your Facebook page and you ask them to review your product. How could they? I mean, maybe their algorithm scans Facebook and knows who your Facebook friends are, but how could they? Because your idea is to promote your product. First of all, most people are out giving away 100 products. So get your friends to pay $1.99 for it, have them buy it, review it, and do that for you. I'm going to talk about a lot of this stuff, and some of it is like that. I'm going to have you do some stuff that you have to be creative with. So if you don't want to see creative kind of push on the bar a little bit, then how to get 100 reviews webinar is not for you. But if you'd like to make sure you get 25 reviews, we're going to teach you about stuff that you can get that 25 reviews before you even start. I can get 100 reviews if I have some promotion money. I can in 30. I don't want to get it in less than 30 days anyway, because I want to continue to show product. Now I'm not going to quit marketing, so I'll get between, after month 1, I can still get 10 reviews a week in my sales and continue to get sales because I've used pay-per-click. So I can do that. All right, Mark, I didn't talk to you about this. Let me see how many people are in here. Mark, I've got something I'm going to show you right now. And some of my partner in China is probably listening right now. So if you want to, and you're able to buy more product, let me show you what I'm working on right now. This is, you guys are gonna, those of you that have a little more money, or once we get you built up, watch this. This is a game changer, I swear it is. Let me share my screen. Nobody else has seen what I'm about to show you. So how many people, if I see at least 10 yeses, if there are 10 people in here and you'll say yes right now, I'm going to show you something that is absolutely 100% going to change the way in which you do business in your life. It will change it. I guarantee it. It's that great. So if you are here and there's 10 of you that will put a yes in that box, I'll share it. If there's 5 of you, I will. So if you've got more money, this will help you because it costs a little bit of money. Time to get off the fence, Joe. Yes, it is. I want you to get off the fence. I'm not using the Amazon Gorillaz webinar. I mean, the Amazon Gorillaz Masterminds, Adam. I wouldn't put it out on a public page. If I have a secret page, nobody can even go and see it. So I'm not going to put it out on a page. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Holy cow, there's still, oh my God, I love it, I love it, I love it. We've been here 2 hours and there's still 25 of you in here. That's incredible. Thank you guys so much. All right, I'm going to share it. Man, that's crazy. Man, I sit sometimes in awe and wonderment that people all over the world give a crap about what I got to say. It is always just a thrill to be able to have that. So here it is. This is really a work document, but I'm still working on it. So here in about a week, actually, I've got a new client starting on this tomorrow. Are you guys ready? This is so awesome. So we talked about some of the problems that you're having. Now, this is only one of the packages that I actually am going to be able to offer because there's more intensive packages. But I feel like most people can start out in this package and move up, or but depending on their budget. Now, the reason why it costs, so this costs some money, but it's not going to cost you as much as you think because you're going to eliminate sampling issues. So that can save you $200. You're going to get a product, I guarantee you, because you're going to source it from Alibaba, but you're going to source it, and I'm going to tell you why it makes sense to source it this way. So you're going to get a product, and you're not going to have to pay all this money to be able to get samples. You're going to be able to get a better price than anybody else, and I'll tell you why in a second. You're going to be able to not have any money issues. You're not going to have any products not working issues, and you're not going to have to learn how to ship. This is how big this is. So my package that we're coming out with, because I'm trying to solve the problems that people are having. So here's the package. What we're going to do is we're going to source it, sample it, inspect it, product manage it, and ship it. So if you're getting at least 1,000 items, so here's what I want you to tell you. It's not going to add that much money into your product because at the end of the day, remember, if we can get a product that matches the money to make it and I can eliminate 99% of the issue in getting it. So how many of you would like right now to be able to say, okay, I've got $3,000, $4,000 and you can do it for less, but the product, the service costs enough money that you have to be able to spread it out over at least 500 products and really more like 1,000 if you're going to do that and be able to have enough to be able to have a little bit of a variance in it. So you're going to have between $1, at least $1, maybe $1.50 in each product added. But like, let's assume my health and beauty product that I have, and I can get it to my house for $1.15. If I increase that price and I have enough of a margin, I can use this service. So what we're going to do, I'm so excited about this. So here's your private label beginner's package. Now this is after you sampled and you got products coming in. So here's what the package provides. You call me and you say, listen, I want to get salt and pepper shakers. And this is the salt and pepper shaker I want. What's going to happen is we're going to go out and my sources and my people in China, and there's over 30 of them running around China. So I have a whole bunch of people, and it's a company that I'm working with. And those people have been doing this for 3 or 4 years. And those people are going to go out, and they're going to find you 3 different people that can sell your product to you. They're going to be absolutely background check, legitimate suppliers. We're going to make sure that we've done a background check. We know that they don't have a 24th floor. We're going to know all of those things, and we're going to give you, and we're going to say, okay, 3 products sent to you with a legitimate supplier. And I'll tell you this, at least one of them and probably 2 of them will not be on Alibaba. So we're going to find 3 different companies that will give you a quotation from your product that you've asked to buy. So you're going to have to do the research. You're going to have to find a product, and then you're going to have to go and say, here's the product I want. And you may even want to get a couple of your own quotes on yourself so you trust that this is actually accurate. But we've got people on the ground. They speak Chinese. They can go to a Chinese manufacturer and call them on the phone and speak Chinese to them. I mean, how big of an advantage is that? So we're going to get you 3 quotations from 3 different companies that have legitimate businesses. We know where they're at. We know what they're doing. And they're, and you know up front that you're buying a product for someone that is going to show up. All right. So then what we're going to do is we're going to obtain samples from these suppliers. We're going to go out and have them all send samples to somebody in China. We're going to put them all in one room. And then we're going to give you a report. And that report is going to give you 20 or 30 pictures of it. It'll give you a report of all the things inside that product looks like and how the quality of it is. So you're going to be able to get a report, and it'll say, this is the issues with the samples. Now, then they're going to send those products to you if you'd like. But here's the difference. You're not going to have to spend $75 each time. You're going to put them in one box because they went to one place. Because if you ship stuff in China, it costs $1, $2, maybe $5 to get them all shipped around China. Then you're going to take them, put them in a box. They're going to do a report for you, and you're going to ship them here. Now, what I would tell you is if you get comfortable, and you will after 1 or 2 times, there's a lot more things that they can do in the middle. They can actually make visits to the factory and stuff, and there's a bunch of other things that you can even eliminate more things. So then what they're going to do is you've got your products made. We've got a guaranteed person. We've got samples. You've now chosen a product. They're going to give you an evaluation of those companies. Hey, these people don't speak English. These people are willing to do more stuff. They're willing to put a logo on it. Here's their MOQ and here's their price. You're going to have 3 to choose from, probably a high, a low, and a middle one. You make what makes sense. You'll be able to choose them. You know that they're real businesses. So then what's going to happen is it's going to get there, and they're going to ship them to you. So what we're going to do is that when that product comes off the line, people are going to go and they're going to do a random sample inspection, which means if you have 10 boxes, man, and I don't even understand how they do this, but basically it's like some formula where they go in and they grab 5 out of this box and they count to every 4th one. And it's some formula that they use statistically that'll show you that these products are all well. So now you're secure in who you're ordering it from. You've got samples all in the service. You've got an inspected product right then, and they're going to give you a detailed report of these random inspections. And then you can either decide it's okay to ship or not. If they have not done what they said they're going to do that matches the product quality of the sample, I'm not giving you any more money. I gave you a third down. Well, guess what? I'm out on that. I'm not giving you any more money. So you're not going to pay 70% of your money until that product is shipped, and it's shipped right, because you got a report that says it's shipped right. Then what's going to happen is they're going to, as it's being manufactured, they're going to provide regular updates. We're going to go through the manufacturing process with you and manage all the pre-shipment documentation and logistics. So we're going to figure out how to ship it to you at your door. We're going to arrange to make sure and monitor and track your shipments until it shows up and it's checked by you into Amazon. So you don't have to touch this product, because people on the ground are going to label them and make sure that they're appropriately ready to be shipped to Amazon. So okay, so let me walk through this again, guys. This is a game changer, a game changer. I'm so excited. I've been holding this out, so I've not told anybody else. Like, there's literally 4 people in the world that know I'm about ready to do this for people, because I saw the problem over and over again. So here's my thought process, and here's my strategy now. Start your first product on AliExpress. Get that product, make a sample. Then you're able to do this service, and you now have covered every single angle that you're not at risk in any of this. So I've been able to create a strategy that you can go from start to finish and never have your money at risk. Never. You're not going to get crappy products. The 2 biggest things I hear over and over and over again is the product is bad, they stole my money, or the samples don't meet the product. And I got problems with how I get it here, ship it, or do whatever. Okay? We're going to get a quotation for you from 3 people. We're going to get samples from those 3 suppliers, and we're going to give you a report that says this is what this product is, this is how this looks, this is how that does. You're going to get you inspection services. By the way, I'm going to say a pretty decent amount of time, we're going to be able to get you quotations that are going to be less than you're going to be able to find. Don't you think that people on the ground negotiating for you in Chinese are going to be able to get a better price than you? Okay. So we're going to get you quotations. We're going to get you samples. We're going to save you money in the sampling for sure. We're probably going to get you a better price in your product. We're going to inspect your products as they come off the line. We're going to make sure that they're randomly, that they're good. And we're going to give you a review of that as well. And then you can decide, well, I want corrections, it's not right, or whatever it might be. And then when you okay it to ship, we're going to ship out your products so you get the exact same high quality product that you sampled. It's not going to change on you. I'm not going to use cheaper materials. They can't. You got somebody there in China looking at it. And then we're going to follow up with the order and get you all the way through your documentation and your logistics to get it shipped and ready to be shipped at Amazon. You don't even have to talk about, you don't even have to talk with anybody about this. You can just have, you don't have to have it shipped to your house to make sure it's right. You know it's right. They're going to give you pictures of the product, tell you what it is, and tell you that the product's right. And then they're going to make sure it shows up at Amazon with the stickers and ready to go. So let me look at some of these questions. All right, you got questions, Ann? I hate paying a lot of shipping fees from China to America for a cheap sample. Well, now you can have somebody look that sample up, Leanne, and you can look that sample up and you can see what it looks like before you ship them all. And if you're going to ship them all, you can ship them all in one package. So you only pay one time. Put them in one room and have a battle to death. Yes, Jason, that's exactly, I mean, that's 100% what you're going to do. You're going to have a death battle to all these three products. You're going to pick the cheapest product and check the most, out of three products, you're going to check the best product. Now, there are other services that we offer where we'll check as many as 10 sources, 10. And out of the 10, 7 of them won't even be on Alibaba. So you're able to expand what you're doing. So we're able to source it, sample it, inspect it, and get it to your door. All 5. So that's not just an agent. I've got a team of people over there that do this all the time. There's actually a team of about 30 people in 4 or 5 cities around China that are going to help us do this. All right. This all sounds amazing. Will you guys prep with Amazon labels direct to Amazon? Yes, Kaylin, we can do that. Monica, and it's real deal. It's being done. I got people doing it already. These people have been doing this for 4 years. But the problem is there are people that do pieces and parts of this, but none of it's under one roof. So are they agents? They're not quite agents. They're not, I mean, because these people are handling everything. I mean, they're doing your set for the 3 different, an agent usually works a lot of times with not as many suppliers. We're going to vet the suppliers as well. We're going to make sure that those suppliers are legitimate, that you can't lose your money at. So yes, so here's the money. So this product, depending on how it all goes, I think it's going to be between $1,100, $1,000, $1,250. So put that number in. If you got a product that you can add $1 in, and you're still making the other money, and you're getting 1,000 products, it's $1 per product, $1.10. Now, if you're ordering a 50-cent item, that may not work. But if you're ordering a 50-cent item, you should be working, you should be buying 3,000 or 5,000. That's why I said it takes a little bit more money, and you got to have some money to invest, because it's not going to make sense for somebody new. So let's me back off of. Hello, everybody. Hello, I'm back. So, wow, I have to use a prep service in the US. I do Q&A live in Canada. So think about this, guys. You can start a product, and I've given you a way. If you don't have enough money, you can not do this. I told you a way you can do it that's cheaper, okay? So quotation, samples, inspection services, order follow-ups, freight forwarding, all in one package. So Nicole, ask again, it's about $1 to $1.10, $1.15 per product, because you're not ordering enough. How this becomes magical is if you're ordering 10,000 products and now you're adding 10 cents per item to your deal to have this done. So it's going to take you to buy a little bit of product. So I would think at least $1,000 to break it up to $1 per, $1.10 per, $1.20 per product. So once we do this, you know, you'll be able to check that out. And also, one of the things that we're working out right now is that, because somebody asked me the other day, well, what happens if I get 3 product quotes and the money won't matter? Well, you're going to have to put on. I think we're going to do it for $279. I think we'll let you check out and make sure that those 3 products. So there is some cost, but it's not going to be much more than what it would cost you to have samples from 3 different people to come in. So we'll be able to get you a price quote from 3 different people and the background check for those companies for, you know, less than $300. And then you're not going to pay more in this, that, then it just is another $700, $800 on top of that. So you can estimate about $1 per product in your deal, but $1 per product, and you don't have to touch the dang thing. No touching, none. You don't put your hand on it, and it goes to Amazon. So think about this. So all you got to do to have your business up and running right now is to go find a product and have them source it and ship it to Amazon. That's how easy it is. I just eliminated 80% of the problem you're having, and I've eliminated it for $1. Did I lose everybody? My connection went down completely. Anybody else got any questions? Do I have anybody in here? Back. So I just got a message from Paul, who's my partner in England. I hope that he says awesome that we did all right. So he agrees with my assessment of what we're gonna do. $1,000 to $1,200, and you could never touch the product. How is that not the greatest thing? How is the fact that you can have your product sent to America and pay $1 per item, and your product shows up here and you don't have to touch it, you don't have to worry about your money disappearing, you don't have to worry about getting samples and knowing what the samples are. You don't have to worry about your product showing up and not being right. Like, how crazy is that? It's the most awesome thing, and I'm so happy to be able to. And we're gonna. I think what we'll do is on the 12th of May, we're gonna. I'm getting my people who are working with me personally. If any of you guys would like to work with me personally, I do private coaching, and it's not very expensive. And I will walk you through the process personally. I do weekly meetups, and we get on Skype. I mean, we get on Hangout or Skype. I even been known to call people and have conversations with on the phone that are in my small group. My small group is between 12 and 25. So if you're interested in doing that with me, I'm doing that. I don't try to push that like crazy. I get a lot of requests on its own, but if you're interested in that, it's less money than this package. So if you're interested in that, I would walk you through the whole process of getting your listings, getting everything else set up. If you just want to buy one of those products off, I'm going to be able to do listing services, photography. I'm going to be able to complete in the next 30 days every single thing that you need to open a business up on Amazon. And all you got to do is pick a product. And I've now taught you how to pick a product. I've taught you how to pick a product. I've taught you now how to get samples, how to get quotes, inspect the product, order follow-up, and freight forward it to Amazon. You don't have to do anything for $1,000. You know, if you got $1,000 only, this is obviously not for you. But if you've got 5,000, it would be crazy not to do this. It would be just crazy not to do this. It eliminates every bit of stress you have in your life. You don't have to send your money off and wait and maybe hope that they send you the right product that they said they would, and you don't have to worry about your money being run off with. This is the craziest thing ever. I'm going to change. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a bunch of people that show up behind me trying to figure this out. But you guys are going to see it first, and I'm going to offer it up to anybody who wants it. You can call me this week, and we'll set you on that path if you're interested. If you want to have more talk about it, you know. Leon says, "How do you private message me at robfortney.com if you're interested in me coaching you, and you know, and working with you on getting your product done." Anybody else got anything to say? It says there's still 38 of you here. I don't know if that's the case. Somebody should give me a big hell yeah, because I think that's the most impressive thing I've ever done almost, that I've been able to figure out that system for everybody, that everybody can have it and do it. I was using different sources and people to do these things, and you can do that, and these people are out there, but certainly not with me and my people on the ground putting this thing together for you. Anybody else still out there have any questions? Give me a hell yeah. We'll keep talking if you want. Oh, wait. Jay says, but what if I need to customize the product? Well, you can do that. Once you get your samples, then what would happen is you'll deal with the manufacturer, and what you're going to do is you're going to tell them, I want this change, or I want to do this or that to it. So I just made this business absolutely no-brainer. And my other small start strategy is the same. I'm not a guy, I mean, I'm doing a lot of these things in my business. I just didn't realize until I started talking to people individually on these webinars how much of a problem there was, because I wasn't paying attention to what you guys were doing. I didn't care what you were doing. I just didn't, because I had my head down and I was plowing forward. I was moving forward. So you guys that are out there, you know, I'm not paying attention to what you're doing because I don't care. I care about what I'm doing. I was developing my products. I had my head down. I didn't screw up, and I did whatever. I did whatever it took. I don't look up. I think when you put your head down, you plow. You don't look up what the hell everybody else is doing, because I don't care, because it doesn't matter. I don't have control over what you do. I never cared in my whole business career what the competition was doing. I'm not saying I wasn't aware of it. I'm saying I didn't spend all my time worried about what my restaurant down the street was doing, because I knew if I had my stuff covered at my restaurant, then I was covered in general. So I don't know. I hope that that can work for some of you. Yes, Nicola, we'll get together. We'll get together. A lot of 0.925 rings cheap from China, Rob. Tony, you have to be ungated in jewelry, and I'm not saying you can't. I think we've talked before. Jason, it's available right now. You can call me. You want to talk on Skype after this privately? I'll talk to you tonight. I'm going to put my Skype in there. That's my Skype address. If you want to Skype me, I'll certainly. Man, my neck gets sore from doing this. I don't know why. If you want to Skype me and we can talk, I'll talk to you guys tonight. I'll put a couple on you if you want to talk about it, because I can get you started tomorrow. So if you're ready to do that, we can start you because the service is in place. I just want to put together the other services because there's some other things in here. But I know this can get anybody who's got $5,000 or $3,000 that can get you involved in this, because I'm going to get you. I mean, some of you guys, I just said somebody's paying $3,000 to have their shipment sent. What if I can figure out how to get your product sent for $500? You only spent $1,000, and now all of a sudden you have $2,000 more worth of product to get in. I mean, this is like, I'm so crazy. I bet you I worked 100 hours this week, and that's a real number. I worked 100 hours because I've been so excited about this and to be able to share this with people, and you guys got to stick around long enough that you got to hear a bunch of it. My email address, I'll put that in, is so if you guys aren't in the mastermind, is anybody left in here still are in the mastermind? Yes, Thomas, I did remove all your roadblocks. If you are ready to be in this business, tell me the only issue you got is to find a product. Now, if you want me to help you find a product, I'll coach you through a product. I'll coach you through pictures. I'll coach you through writing your listing. I'll coach you through pay-per-click advertising. I'll coach you. I'll work with you getting your reviews, and I'll do all that for you too. So now you have somebody do every single part. All you got to do is make a decision that you want to be in business. That's literally the only thing you have to do right now is make a decision that you want to be in business. I don't know, man. I'm excited. How many of you guys left are ready to? I mean, you have $3,000 or $4,000 to start. And you've already got a product, or you're ready to source your first product and you got some money to do it. Anybody in here, are you ready? And listen, you guys have to do this or start this tonight. I'm just trying to figure out where you guys that are left in here and why maybe you stuck around. Maybe it's just an idea to find out in the future after you get your first 3 or 4 products sourced from. But if you find a product that you get your first product and you sample it and it does real well, then you may want to just up this thing and you spend $2,500 or $3,000. Have this reduce your product cost, and all of a sudden you're in business with no headaches. Brad, great show. What do you think is one of the best ways we can effectively utilize the Amazon Gorillaz? It's accountability more than anything. You can put questions up there, and you can have motivated. You're around happy, motivated people that are moving forward. You can see people's success. So the best way is to participate and make these people your friends. Talk to them. Talk about their products. Debate them. There's all kinds of stuff. And I put resources all up there all the time of things that you can use in your business. So just participate. Go there every day. You can select favorites at the top, and every single post will appear on your timeline. So you'll know what everybody else is doing. You'll always be up to date. Get those other people off your timeline and all these other groups. Get this as 250 people. Yeah, you're right, buddy. I have a smile because I'm telling you, I wasn't really going to talk about this tonight, but you know what? I was like, I got to just share it because it was so awesome. Anybody else? I could probably swing $3,000, but that's a scary number for me right now. Well, I'm saying you could get $2,000 worth of product, spend about, and listen, there's a couple services here we may be able to pull off of here that you may handle yourself that could save you some money on this. I think there's a package that we're going to do around $800, $750 that could get most of this stuff, and you may pull out order follow-up, or you may maybe you've got your own products already sourced and you have samples, so it can be lowered a little bit. Tom, yes, I have 1K, but still make me money. Like I said, I'd be happy with $1,500 a month of profit. More would be good until I can quit my job. Tony, so here's my strategy. And I may have told everybody, my strategy is find yourself 10 products that make you $1,000 a month. Then if your product falls off, you're still making 9, you can go out and get another one. So find a product that makes $1,000 a month, that does it for 2 months in a row or 3 months in a row, so you know you have that product, and you can continually work on that product. While you're working on that product, you do some other resources, and you find, because you're going to start making money. So 1 product at 1,000. 10 products is 10,000 a month. So you need 3 products to do $3,000, $4,000 a month, and you're making $1,000 a week. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty easy. So instead of trying to find a grand slam that sells $30,000 a month, I'm saying find one that does 1,000 and get 3,000 and get 4,000 and have that spread over 4 different areas. Again, eliminating more risk, eliminating risk, eliminating risk, eliminating risk. That's the whole idea. You start out, don't get products that are glass, liquid. Make sure you get your stuff inspected there. Make sure you have it shipped here. Make sure your money doesn't get stolen. A lot of those things we can do before you. If you only have $1,000, you can next Sunday, I'm going to show you how we can start doing it next Sunday, how you can start figuring out how to get your product here regardless. If you use the service, game changer. Just 1 product. Wow, how many of this should I buy quantity-wise? I have 1 product at Amazon right now. Another one, it's on its way to AZ right now. I have 4 others now that I'm looking at. My goal is 1 new product each month until the end of the year. That should bring me at least 60K a year. It may work that fast, Jason. I'm not saying it won't work that fast. I don't quite spend, I mean, I try to go, yeah, probably more like 60 days on my first product. I would keep working. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. This is how do I create income over a period of time? How do I do that? Well, how you do that is you spread them out. You don't have to be in such, you can be in such a lower competition and dominate it and sell $1,000 instead of trying to sell an $80,000 product and busting your butt to be able to get all the way up. So $1,000 a month, 10 products, and you're making 10 grand a month. And you know, could you go make 20? Yeah, you just get up to 20 products, and then you have your risk spread out. If you are married, I also would suggest that you alternate products, maybe because if you can spread that out over 2 accounts and they can't link you, you got to make sure that you're not. But then you have a backup account where you're not getting a risk that you could have a problem. But you can't be on the same IP, and there's other problems with that. But it can be done. It's certainly a great hat to be able to do that. But I don't trust those guys sometimes. They just ban people off and suspend your account, and then all of a sudden your $10,000 is evaporated overnight. Jason, 10 products by December. Well, if I can help you do any of that, I certainly would. Strange thing, Mindy. I copied and pasted and didn't get through. Amazon Gorillaz. Did I spell that wrong, maybe? Amazon, Gorillaz. Becky, if you haven't seen my video, here, let me give you guys some of these videos if you haven't seen them. I'm pulling up these. If you haven't seen, if Becky, you're talking about not being able to, you don't have a product yet. Let me give you, I have an absolutely great link for that. Did I spell? I type quick, guys. I'm not a great typer. Here's my correct email. If I spelled it wrong before, I apologize. I'm sorry I misspelled Amazon. I apologize, Mindy. Man, it's up there right now. And if you want to see how to pick a product in an hour, that's the link as well. And if you haven't got the first 5 steps, I might as well post that for you too. And if you're not using AmaSuite, I don't know why. It's too inexpensive to not. It's 30 bucks, guys. 40 bucks. You need to be using Top 100 Analyzer. You'll find yourself a product a lot quicker. All right. Anybody wants to send me an email? Anybody got any other questions? I'll answer anything you want. I'm good. Still says you're 34 in here. I don't know about that, but I mean, I'm crazy if you are. 26 people in here now. So, any other questions? Any other things? I'd be more than happy to answer about anything. You want to ask me a random question? What I can do. Got just a minute. If you want to get any more questions in, I'm going to head out. 2 hours and 57 minutes. I've been here, almost 3 hours. All right, Leon. Have a good night, buddy. I appreciate you staying up and listening. There'll be a replay of this video. Thank you so much. All right. I love this. I love what I do, guys. I love it. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to be able to help people and have them smile. It is absolutely the greatest thing I have in my life right now. I can tell you how much I appreciate it because, I mean, I don't know, in the real world where you get a bunch of people thinking you're great, and it happens all the time online. It's the most awesome feeling ever, and I want you guys all to be successful. I absolutely do. There's nothing that will make me happier than to hear about the fact that you've got to be able to spend more time with your family. You can spend more time with your family. How is that not the greatest thing ever? Jason, ebooks. Good night, Thomas. See you, Tone. Thank you for taking out so long. Peter, thank you, thank you, thank you. Jason, I'll answer your question here in a second. Bye, any of you there. What's your take on adding an ebook to your branded product so no one else can reap the benefits of your hard work? Well, you can still white label your box. An ebook doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have the own listing. You just got to be able to have a white label that it's under your brand. Now, that's good about 95% of the time. You just got to create your own brand on it and do that, and you can be fine. My Skype again. Skype. All right, couple of last questions. I'm going to get out of here. I mean, I'll stay till the 3rd hour mark. I'll stay around another 5 minutes. If you got a burning desire, question you got to have, now's the time. Good night, good night, good night, sweetheart. I think it was a great night too. Any of you guys emailing me, I'll return emails tonight and for sure in the morning if I don't. If you Facebook message me, if you're not friends, you need to be, because then you can always message me and I'll always get it. I'm on probably 16 hours a day. I'm online. I'm trying to, how about the fact that I went out with my girlfriend today or yesterday and took her out retail arbitrager, which was Amazon anyway. I don't know if that's slick, stupid, or what, but I went on a date all day and got lunch and ate by the lake, and we still got to accomplish something for the business. I think will help everybody is giving them a thing. So. Jason, you're rocking it. Wow. Well, Jason, we have a service that will help you do all that stuff in China too. So I know we talked about it. So yes, Jason, you can go in and we can still help you a lot with what you're doing. It'll cost you far less money, but if you're ordering that kind of volume, then great. How does Amazon send an ebook? Two things. Amazon, I can't remember what the number is. Amazon will actually print you books at their deal, and they put it in some kind of binder. I've never done it, but I've heard about it. Yeah, you send them a link for the ebook. Man, how many of you guys bought a product because it had an ebook? I mean, I like that, and a lot of people teach that, but are you actually sending an ebook and I'm gonna go, oh, I want to buy that product? I like a bundle better with something else. Somebody was doing a product today, and they added a spatula that would work for your deal, and I thought that was all right. But I don't think anything an ebook changes the game at all. Tony says the official way is through Kindle publishing. I believe they can attach a free coupon to your code product. There you go. I'm not a huge fan of ebooks, but yeah, that makes sense. So that's under TOS. So basically you'd go through and you'd put it in Kindle. They would put a coupon. They would keep it in Amazon so you wouldn't have any problems. I don't think, man, ebooks are great. If you have a really great ebook, I just don't know how. First of all, it's just a title that you're selling. Don't put that dang ebook in your first picture. Your first picture should be completely product oriented. I got about 2 minutes. I sell ebooks on eBay and send a PDF. Heck yeah, Tony. I'm gonna start selling some of these things myself. Jason, it's nothing wrong with a recipe book and a kitchen tool. Jay, here's the deal. I do things like this, and I mean, it's crazy, guys. I work crazy amount of hours. I did basically a 40-hour shift. I stayed up all night, went to sleep for 3 hours, and then got back up and stayed up till 2 a.m. So I work a lot, and you know, there's a great thing about a phone. And remember, my idea is to simplify this as simple as possible. So by simplifying it, I can monitor. You saw Jason earlier. He's not spending a bunch of time. He's selling $80,000 a month. If he's selling $40,000 to $60,000 a month, there's not a lot of maintenance. Once you get your product up and going, that becomes easy. So I didn't start teaching people or doing anything until I was comfortable with that end. And then it wasn't taking up the time. And then what happened was I was helping someone with a webinar, and all of a sudden 300 people were literally showing up for these webinars. When I was like, well, heck, if that many people out there need help, I'll help them. And so then that's when I started doing what I did. So Jay, that's how I do it. I'm able to spread it out. My girlfriend's pretty patient with me right now. But the part of the business what I'm developing right now with more coaching, and I've got some ebooks that I'm promoting right now. So I've got my podcast coming. I'm a multitasker. Right now, I've got 3 computer screens on my desk. I've got a separate computer and then 2 computer screens. And I literally sometimes would be working all 3 computers at the same time. Hey, it's 11 o'clock. If you want to Facebook message me or you want to email me, I'll do it. Thanks again. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. If you're watching this on a replay, again, just it's Rob Fortney Jr. that you can get a hold of me on Facebook. My email is Amazon Gorillaz, GORILLAZ @gmail.com. You can go to my mastermind group, Gorillaz Mastermind 2, and you can join still. If it's not, look for Gorillaz Mastermind 3, because once we get to 250, we'll go to the next level. Friend me, join, what's the other one I have? The Alibaba to Amazon if you want to be a part of a bigger group. And there's still a lot of information on it. It's just not quite as intimate. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys next Sunday. And then next Tuesday is my big one. So, hey, guys, good night. Good luck. Get to selling.